That's it right there. Billy put out right. We got to make it in. Isn't that right? I appreciate that. That's all right. That good heart clings them more. Isn't that right? I listened to that 1419 coming in. I said, that's it right now. What we trying to do? That's it, trying to get that Ruach HaKodesh. Isn't that right? That's what the master don't want us to do. Because he know after we recover ourselves, he know we got to recompense him. There got to be a recompense for his actions. Isn't that right? Like they said, for every action, there's a reaction. America took an action on the so-called Negro. Then there got to be some repercussion, got to be some action taken. There got to be a reaction, and you take something sometimes, you know, your body break out. You take something they don't agree with. I don't agree with what they done to us, so we're going to have to break out. That's only natural, isn't that right? How many of y'all got allergic reaction to certain stuff, whether it's shrimp or I don't know what it might be, poison ivy or something? Your body reacts to it in certain ways, isn't it? Ain't the way you might want it, but that's your way your body expecting it. Let it know this is how I react when this action happens. Well, they got to know in America, this is how we act when their action took place. This is our reaction. You know, they'll tell you, go to the hospital, they say, you had a reaction. You say, man, my eyes watering, the skin itching, they say, well, you had a reaction to something. Then they might go over a list of everything you eating, you drunk, where you went, any kind of perfumes or oils or lotions. It ain't hard to figure out what our problem is when we came in encounter with him. When he gave us his religion, when he gave us his food and his medicine, we took off and had a reaction. That's why we're so violent against one another, destructive toward one another. It's the reaction we got from being with him. Ain't that right? That's true. You wouldn't know that. Some your hair started falling out. You know, people start, what you been putting in your hair? Ain't that right? What you been taking? Ain't that right? You start looking at what relates to it, what could have caused it to happen. Why we don't do that when it come down to America? What's our problem? The so-called Negro can pray all he want to pray. We got to sit down and go through a list of what's our problem. Isn't that right? What's new for us? What was new was our encounter with them. A lot of these problems we didn't have before we met them. We didn't have all these. I'm sure, you know, no doubt we had some violence among us. There was some other things we had, but we had integrity. We had character. They know that. They don't show it to us. Every hero they gonna give us gonna be white. John Wayne, one white man killed all the Indians. Where were we at when all that was going on? What you need us for? All you needed was Clint Eastwood and John Wayne kill everybody. Could have brought them, let them fight the Civil War too. Could have let them went there and fought Nazi Germany. Why nobody want to show us? Why don't we know the real history about ourselves? Because they already know when we find out, it's going to be a reaction. See, anytime that you know more about you and you feel better about you, it's harder for the white man to demean you. Y'all know that? It's all probable for you to have a dissidence against your government. Y'all familiar with that? Huh? That you don't agree with. You don't have to agree with their religion, their politics. You don't have to agree with anything they do. That doesn't make you wrong. It just means you don't agree with it. Y'all got it? And when white people don't agree with you, they're violent against you. They'll usher out their clan. That's their clan. They'll work to break down every black gang from the Crips and the Blood, who's still gonna be agents for them anyway. Most of them agents. It ain't hard to stop it. Let me see. All of the Blood wear what, green? What they wear, green? And call themselves money, 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 money. They all wear red and they all co-sign to anything red. They only like to use words that start with a B. So how hard is it to catch them? Which means they're agents. I know you'll think these people don't work for the government. They do work for the government. The Crips and the Blood, they all orchestrated by the government. The government allowed them to exist. Where they all living in Beverly Hills? How hard is it to find them? Because they scattered all the way over Beverly Hills? In Malibu? Where they scattered at? They're all in one central location. They're like every other one of these project gangs. They're not hard to stop them, which means your government funds them. How these gangs just happen to go over into a railroad, break into a container, and it just happened and you lucked up and broke in a container that got all guns in it? Because your government puts them there. See, the problem we have, while we've been fighting one another, we haven't looked at who's been the facilitator of the problem. That's just to be honest, these people just don't exist. They exist because somebody funds them. Just like the Black Panther Party, they existed long enough. Once America got their agenda across to us through the Black Panther Party, after that you started to dispel them. When they realized they were used You gonna tell me that the white man let an organization come out there with all black in the 70s, in the late 60s, and the NFL was helping funding them? The NFL was helping to fund the Black Panther Party, a white organization, for the betterment and the separation of black people? No, that's what they told you. These people will tell you, and they'll tell you flat-footed, if they would have tell you want to know, they actually helped us get Roe versus Wade through. They were actually helping and encouraging women in the project to abort their babies. Now, why we don't have a problem with that? Why would a couple of niggas want us to kill our babies, but you want us to tell the police don't kill us? What's the difference, Dave? If the police shoot my son, or if I take my girlfriend or my wife to the abortion clinic? Why do I have a problem with the police beating up, arresting, incarcerating, and never bringing back black babies and black kids when I myself am a supporter and proponent of abortions of black women with their babies? It is because I'm an agent. Man, these organizations were raising hundreds of thousands of dollars. You talking about the 1960s, you raising $200,000? A black organization? Shoot, you can't get niggas to do that now. In a better economy, we'll tell you somebody else was funding them. See, that's the kind of thing we got to start looking at. Sometimes help ain't really help. Sometimes help is hurt. That's just being honest. Sometimes help is hurt. And that's what hurt us a lot of times. We've been thinking these people been helping us. They've been hurting us. They'll put stuff in our face and make us think they're helping us, but they're not helping us. The best help that the white America do for us is to leave us alone. We ain't talking about leave us alone after you done poison and shot. Shoot me, leave me on the ground with 14 rounds in me, and then leave me on the ground so I'm gonna let you help yourself. No, you keep your bullets. You let me get some bullets on the gun and we just separate. Isn't that right? We do like Jacob did when he left from Laban. We built a wall between us. You don't cross over to me and I don't cross over to you. That's the treaty we'll make. When I jump over that fence, then you know what's getting ready to happen. Ain't no talking. When you jump over that wall, just know we ain't gonna do no more talking. It gotta be that way. You gotta have that. What they telling in Mexico they putting up? Border walls, what they saying? They don't want the people over there. They feel like those people affect their economy. Those people affect their people. They feel like those people are going to bring some and infect their people. Isn't that correct? So what do you think happened when they jumped your border wall? What do you think you contracted? How do you think it helped your people? Oh, you don't think like him, innit? That man spent billions of dollars, built a wall miles long. He don't want them over him. You know why? He said they're not one of us. You're not one of them either. Where your wall at? You do have a wall. Go and apply for a really good job. The wall will be there. Go and apply for funding for your business or a home loan. That wall will be there. Go and apply to get a really expensive car. They'll put a wall there for you. You got a wall, nigga. You just don't know it. It might be invisible, but you see it every time you apply. Every time opportunity to open up, there's a wall there. What they say, man, I hit another wall. That's where the border wall come from. Theirs is physical, where they can actually see it. But yours is there as well. You can see it as well. Y'all got it? Yes, sir. Isn't this a reality for you? Hello? You know, even with rappers and actors and all these different performers, a lot of these people are agents. Preachers are agents. These people are paid and funded by these people to come in and induce you with a religion and a thought process to keep you from thinking freely. See, what we got to do is in feeding ourselves and educating ourselves, it gives us the opportunity to have a free thought. See, when you get the Bible, as he calls it, his perversion, his King James perversion, that's how he thinks, and that's how he wants you to think. He didn't actually believe it, but he created it for you to believe it. And by that belief that he gave you is how he'll orchestrate his control over you. Hello? So you have to understand when they see us and they tell you you're angry, why you're an angry black man, you shouldn't try to get away from that. You should address it and let it be acknowledged. I am angry. I am angry. Put yourself in my shoes. Let me take your little white baby and let me go take it and rape it. Let me take your white woman, let me go take her and rape her in your face. Let me take your white man and hang him and cut his penis off and put it in your mouth. And then tell me how you feel. Tell me that you won't become incensed. See, we always trying to make apologies and trying to prove and do jumping jacks and somersaults and track meet runs to try to prove to him that we'll work with him and we'll do these things. But everything we've done with him is only benefiting him. It's never benefited us. Antonio Brown, a perfect example of a black man with money, ran his mouth, and they did what they did. They silenced him, put a muzzle on his mouth. Anytime a man of color get up to stand against their man, you got to make sure how much control they got over you first. You can't play that game and say they can't control you. They can control you. These rappers, the same thing. These singers, they know. What they told you, vax it up, vax it up, vax it up. They know who control them dollars. It ain't you, nigga. Think about it. They'll get their monies, royalties, and they get the money they get off of sales of albums and other things. Those people control giving them that. Those people tell us who hot. Most of the stuff, sometimes you'll hear something, you say, man, that's a weird song, but people get it because they induce your mind and make you accept it. All they do is get enough people talking, enough people going after it and desiring it. You know what happened? The average, we just follow like sheep to the slaughter. A lot of people, we don't have a free thought to think and stop and say, why am I following this? Just like I tell y'all why you here, this is something that you actually have to think about for yourself. Why? How is it going to help you? To do what? To become what? To ensue what? There's got to be something. I mean, I just want change. There's a lot of things you can do to get change besides religion. So you got to really sit down and start kind of doing some organization and start setting down some structure and looking at how is it going to benefit you. You know, everything we've done never benefited. Slavery never benefited us. Sharecropping never benefited us. His education system never benefited us. So you've done more things that never benefited you. So now you're doing something else. Let's make sure, how is it going to benefit you? So we got to start sitting down and doing some structural changes. Hello? You know, if you're going to add on to a house, the first thing you got to do is prove out the support of what you have first before you add to it. Can it sustain what it have? I'm a builder by trade. So if we're going to add on a bathroom, you know what they're going to look at? Is the city going to allow us to tap into the sewer system, or does your septic tank support another room? If not, then we're going to change our septic system, because you're going to be adding more poop into it if you're adding a bathroom. So all these things have to be considered. Some people say, I just want a bathroom. I'm just giving you a scenario of what you have to do. Don't you know we got to do the same thing? If we're going to add, if we're going to build, we got to make sure, first of all, can we support it? That's how businesses fail. That's how our people fail. And they intentionally set us up for failure, because we don't sit down to strategize. You can't do everything off moving off emotions. It's got to make 5 of them. It's got to fit in here. If it don't fit in here, it makes sense? It don't make sense. Let's try to help white America. I don't smell it. I don't see it. I don't feel it. I don't taste it. Y'all guys, a lot of that. It don't make sense. It don't make sense because I don't see no benefit in it. The people we have to help are people that's going to benefit us. The people you come from wouldn't do nothing without a benefit. You think these people heard a word and decided to take something? Everything they have is on the promise of gaining something. I'm coming to bring you out of captivity. Why? You know what sometimes happens? You ever seen movies, or maybe you might be familiar with a scenario, a situation where you've seen where a person might have been captured in something, and the police or somebody come in, a detective come in the show and say, hey, say, let's come here. And the person still like this. You like, why would they do that when help comes? Listen, I've been entangled in such a mess so long, help look like hurt. You got to really talk. I ain't gonna just say, you open the door and say, come out. You might be with the person that captured me. You ever seen that scenario before? Where they got to calm down. I'm here to help you. I came to get, then they got to start calling certain names. Your mom, Addie. Your daddy, Harry. Now I start hearing familiar names. Now I start to associate, maybe you actually are here for help. You know what we do? White man walk in and smile with a suit, that's our friend. He black too. What's the familiar names? See, the people that he came to get from Mizraim was not going with him. We were not going. First of all, we knew nothing about you. We've heard some things, but I don't know you. You know what they want to know? And Musa knew that. They're going to want to know, what is your name? These people are not going to leave here because you said leave. These people have been in captivity for 400 some years. What's going to make them run out here and say, come out of my people? First of all, who are you? How many of y'all open y'all door when somebody not ring the bell? What do you ask? Why? Because when you open the door, you open up the privacy to your sanctity, your security. So you're going to have to say, if I don't know who you are, you're going to have to name an organization that you with that I'll acknowledge. I'm with FedEx. FedEx, I know FedEx. Colors come to my mind: white truck, white van, stripe on the side, red and blue, uniform, blue shirt, blue pants, stripe on the arm, FedEx patch on them. What are you delivering? I ain't got no delivery. FedEx. I know FedEx. I know what FedEx wear. I know what they drive. I know ain't got nothing going out to you. There's no need for you to be here. Get off my porch. Because you have to process. You know what we've never done? We've never processed anything. The people who we name it, that we say we come behind, process some things. Before he came and got us, and before we were leaving, he told Musha, you're going to go and show them everything I showed you. So now we got a record. What this man saying he gonna do? The water gonna turn red. I walk out here and the water blue. Come on. Blue and red. Y'all know they go together. They're on the American flag. So when I see blue water, depending on how the light hit it, do like this, y'all. Kind of squint your eye. Don't you see how blue can kind of be red? See, you know what you're doing? What we've done. You're making something. You're making something that's not actually what he told you. Everything that he came down to perform to us, we saw him do it, and he told us before he done it. We just ran behind something. We never even knew anything about it. We didn't know enough to give our all to. That's why a lot of people burn out with religion. By the time the truth comes, you don't even want it. What you been? Christian, non-denomination, Islam, Buddhist, Catholic, Mormon. You've been everything. So now when truth comes, what happened? You're burnt. You're burnt. You give everything you away to charity. When the right charity comes, what you say? Man, I done gave so many charity, man, all of them the same. So now you start to embottle everything and you start to label it as one thing, when it's actually not. We're actually separate. We're what they call parashim. In their book they call Pharisees. We're separatists. That's what they were. They were separatists. That's why they would have a conversation with Yahushua about the people he was with. It was like, you know, why your Talmudim don't wash their hand before they eat? Because they looked at they were separate. Their whole action was about them being clean. It was about something that they portrayed when you saw them, their robes, the things that they showed and they demonstrated. He got us to move from the physical to understand everything that you're demonstrating in front of these people out here in their presence, in their sight. You need to actually be demonstrating this in your law, in your inner man. See, if we don't get it here, it's just physical attributes we have. When you take it off, what do you keep? Hello? You can't sleep with tassels, so how do you remember? Before he gave it to us, because we meditate on it. We're constantly regurgitating the information we take. You know, the other day, I threw up some lima beans. I ate some potato chips. And what happened, you have to set it, so well, what don't make sense? It don't make sense I threw up. That's stupid. I'm a grown man. I know if I threw up. So, well, no, it was lima beans. I ate some potato chips. So what we have in the process, you're exactly right. You can't discard something you never had. Okay? The reason why we have such a poor performance of the servitude toward Jesus is because we never had it. It wasn't for us. It wasn't for us. And we've been trying to portray an action we couldn't possibly have because it doesn't fit our criteria. It doesn't fit what we've actually gone through. Jesus does not address the needs of the so-called Negro. It just doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. Although we were not there, there are things we can sense, you can feel. Just like a baby. It don't take long for a baby to start to recognize care versus, you know what I'm saying, a person that doesn't care. You can just know some kid, you get them, they cry. They're like, oh, the baby, then you get them to the right person, they just kind of, they say, oh, look at that. They stop crying when you have, because it's something they can relate to. The feel, the touch, the smell, the sound, it's something that kind of soothes them. And that's what happened with us. America has tried it. They've tried it with PPPs and SBA. They tried it with government cheat. They tried it with welfare. They tried it with project. It just don't set right. It don't set right. Because then we start looking at what was our final end goal when they finished all these things. Put us more in debt. They put us more behind. They criminalize us. That's what they do. They look like I give you things when all I've done is created other criminals. We made laws that some of you guys got smart enough not to break. A lot of us weren't, and they caught us and tied us up with them. So you create new laws. by giving out things that look like help, and you can come back and criminalize the people later, and guess what? Now I got you in here with the drug dealer that you even agree with are bad people. But for some reason, you ain't got a problem with big pharmaceutical. Because how many niggas y'all know make Oxycontin? Come on, how many y'all know drug dealers? Known them, been one, known them, come on. Everybody got something. You got a cousin, okay. How many of y'all know had cocaine, sold cocaine? How about marijuana? These drugs now. How many of y'all know that made Oxycontin? Oxycontin. White man make it. White man makes it and bottle it and puts it in public. Niggas stand on the corner, risk everything. Getting hit by a car, getting snatched, getting jacked, getting robbed, getting arrested. White man sit here and put on a suit, tie, put on a shirt, put on a white lab jacket, sit right here in public. How can I help you? Slide that prescription right here. He get that thing and say, give me 20 minutes. Give me 20 minutes. Why? He ain't gonna be cooking up tomorrow. He gonna be cooking up your poison. Hello? It's about addiction. Drugs ain't about people getting high, it's about addiction. It's about getting people addicted. When people are addicted, they'll come back. They'll want more, they'll need more. That's how he gets you. It can be your blood pressure pills, it can be your diabetes, it can be your insulin, it can be any medication he give you. That's the whole thing. It's about addiction. You get a cold, you go buy a cough medicine, get it, what you say? I'm gonna buy that, I'm gonna keep some. I wanna keep that around, I'm gonna have it. So I start to feel something. Sometimes you won't quite feel it, but you'll think you do. So just to be safe, you go ahead and take it. That's how he makes his money off of you. So now we gotta educate our people and start making them and get them to think. Do y'all know that the average of these products that's inside these stores, do y'all know the FDA never seen them? How many of y'all didn't know that? That's true, it's a true statement. Most of the stuff that's sitting in your store that has to go through FDA approval has never been seen, tested by the FDA, and it sits in the store legally, and stamped and being sold every day and no criminal action happens. Just so you'll believe it, you let these people, they took a Pfizer, Moderna, and another shot that had never been approved by FDA for emergency uses. Will let you know that every rule that white people make can be broken when they decide. When white people in trouble, they got something they'll call, let me see, I know I pledge allegiance to the flag and to the, what's the place called areas like this? The states. You know they got something they call state of emergency. You know how many of y'all heard of state of emergency? They say this state of emergency. Y'all know what that means? That means that every law is relaxed. If we have a law book law, it's a state of emergency. If the state deems it's an emergency, we don't have to recognize that. No scale. Listen, right by a scale house, and it ain't no state of emergency. You finna be in a state of confusion. You know what I mean? You finna be in a mess. Which means whenever he wants to do something, he has a word that he can tightly use to exempt him from any criminality. You don't have one. He has a word that makes you acceptable to every criminal action. You know what it's called? You're a nigger. You're a nigger. That means whatever I say, whatever rule I deem, whatever law I make, that means you guilty of it. Because you're a nigger. That's a true reality for us. If it's not, you shouldn't be here. See, people don't want to talk about truth, whether it's white, black, Asian, whoever else. We're talking about a problem that actually really affects us. See, everybody got an area. You go to New York, you can go to Chinatown. That ain't China, but they've deemed this area and dressed it and adorned it and decorated to be just like where they're from. Y'all got it? You can go to any of these little places and go to little Mexico. You can go to Florida and go to little Havana in Florida. Mind you, Havana is in Cuba. Then these folks can sell. You can go to little Haiti. You can go to all these little places they got. Listen, it's going to be their food. It's going to be their stores. They're going to have their color clothing that they recognize because that gives them their connection even though they're separated from it. Now I ask you a question. Exactly what is your town, nigga? But see, that wouldn't even be ours. He gave it to us. It would be ours, but in a sense it wouldn't be. Simply because he changed and transformed what ghetto means. Ghetto, for most people that don't know, it actually means it's a Jewish community. So when he called it the ghetto, that's what the word ghetto, we'll put it up, let him say, I don't want to make up no words. Amazing you brought it up. The ghetto is actually considered, how many of y'all didn't know that? The word ghetto is actually a word for a Jewish community, which means that the white people that put you there know who you are. But they put you there and start giving you different behaviors that were not conducive nor associated with people that are Yahudim. So now what happens in a community that's supposed to be your community? What did people in the projects want to do? Who grew up in the project? I used to hang in the project. What did you want to do? Stay in the project all your life. All you want to struggle and say, man, if I could stay here, I'd be great. Things will work out. How many of y'all had that? So now, guess what they did? The psychosis was to make you fight to get away from something that was yours. So don't say you didn't have nothing. So now, instead of you shifting blame where it belongs on him, he shifts it to you. I tried to help you. I tried to give you some of your own. Then he influxed you with who? Every foreigner he brought in, he stuck him in the project till he ran us out. And we got put out, we got put to where? Nowhere. These are realities for us. See, ghetto, let's see, ghetto. And what we use, for those watching in, we use etymology. The reason why we use etymology because etymology gives us a time period of when the word was introduced. When we was in school, I would come along, they give us a dictionary. A dictionary is just a man word he makes up and he puts, so you got to learn word usage. When the white man deems a word is not being used enough, he just takes it out of circulation. He did that with the $2 bill. Now people won't use it, so what you do? So when you don't see them, does it mean they don't exist? They never existed? It means I didn't feel like keeping them in circulation. I didn't feel like enough people want them, enough people use them, so I just took them out. So how about if you look at if that's what he did to you in your amat, your truth? Enough people, enough white people ain't never used the truth. So what you do with it based off of word usage? Enough people don't use it. It's not common. So what do? You take it out of circulation. Y'all guys are great. So now it looks as though what you're doing never existed. That's how he gets you. See, because the control of everything you got come from him. Most of these niggas don't know how to use it. Niggas not actually offensive. Most people don't know the nigga, nigus is the Abari word, is the African word for emperor. But see, now he got it, and they hate you saying. That's why, who they use to get you to stop saying nigga? White people? See, that's how they program you. Use a nigga. We don't, my God, when we was coming along, we fought against that word. Lots of us have died for that word, that N-word. I refuse to call another nigga a nigga. I know, sir. I know, ma'am. Because he programs you. If you don't know, then what do? You tend to fight against it. This is what hurts us. Ignorance is not bad in the sense of I'm guilty of what I didn't know. It's dangerous when you know and then you want to play ignorant. Y'all got it? There are just a lot of things we didn't know. How to properly disperse, how to really research to get information, understand, process certain things. That's because of our ignorance. And he created those phobias and fears of. Everything you need. Anybody got that King James perversion? I hope he tell you, everything you need is right inside him. That's where he programmed you. So I locked you. There's nothing you're going to be able to do inside of these two, front and back, that can ever hurt me and my government. If you read it, you're going to find somebody going to tell you, obey your master. Let me ask y'all a question. Austin, he won't say, I get you. I beat him. Good man. I beat him. What you do? What you do?
I don't know.
Pop, pop. Stupid nigga. Bad nigga. Them your kids, I'm took your kids. What they do? I just take them. Now, in this book, you're supposed to pray for me. Pray for me. Because during this time period when I did this, back then, I didn't know. What made you go in your mind and process to say what I knew? How you know I didn't know? The man ain't did that. I didn't know. So you tell me time makes people smarter? You just telling me all of a sudden, now we just happen to get human emotion? We just getting judgment on what's right, what's wrong? Why am I hitting this man? This man ain't done nothing. Why am I tying this man up, taking this man over here to my house to work for free, and he can't get back and cut his leg off? It's because I didn't know no better. Now, when y'all get this, pray for me. Pray for me and pray for me to be saved. Y'all know if you don't go to church, y'all know what's going to happen. You're going to hell. Okay? Hello? You don't believe in Jesus, you're going to hell. Okay? You don't go to church on Sunday. Now, you guys are going to church, okay? I'm going to be at home. And while y'all at church, pray for me. Because you don't know what God and how God is using me. And what you really need to be worried about is yourself. You have no reason to be worried about me because you don't know where I'm at with God, okay? You just make sure you right while you there. And don't forget, I will beat y'all niggas when you get out there on church on Sunday. And pray for me. We've seen this for so long that it put us in derision. It just made people walk away from it. Rightfully so. It put a divide in our home. It put a divide in everything we've done. It put a divide in our children. Because nobody ever let us thought. They just made it, if it was a thought, it was wrong. If it was an idea, it was wrong. If you had a question, it was wrong. And it's been because they invoked the fear on us. And that fear kept us unconscious. But now, we begin to do like Shamshun. When he got ready to fight against his enemies, he went out and separated from them and said, and let me get my thoughts together. You know what he say, and why did he do this based off of what? That's tight. That's tight. Now, I made a statement, and we're going to have to define that statement. Let me read this. Y'all think about what I told you. Why are we seeing 1610? That's when it started. The Negro existed. You ain't gonna believe it. We was living in 1609. I know we were before that. So anything a white man can show you, we existed before that. So stop thinking everything came to life when you met Mr. Whitey. He put a time period here because this is the first time. He can't give you an exact date. This is what he told you. He put an S behind it to let you know it was doing somewhere in here. So to go and say it was exactly 1610, I never told you that, nigga. I told you it was in the 1610 somewhere around there now. He like get self area. He said this is when it was going. Part of a city in which Jews are compelled to. What did the white man know about you that he pushed you in the area and he called it ghetto? What did he know? We fought to get out the ghetto. So what did he do? He demoralized the ghetto. That's embarrassing. You said, where you stay at? He said, in Pool Creek. They said, where? Pool Creek. Pool Creek. You talking about the rabbit dogs? I got to get out of there. Because people know when you say I'm in that project, then people just know that's a bad play. See, he gave you something. That's how it looked like he gave you something. He put you in your own community. But all he did was came in and influx your community what? With drugs. Drugs keep you from processing things. See, what people don't do, this is the detriment and danger of drug, a health problem. But more or less, it's the delusion. He gives you drugs that will more or less give you a vivid imagination, we'll call it. You know what I'm saying? Hallucinations. You got it? He makes you hallucinate. He makes you escape reality. He does not want you to be able to be in control of your faculties at all times. You always got to be a free thinker. You got to be able to think. In any situation, you always got to be able to think. I told you back when I used to drink, I never used to get drunk, I pass out. I had a friend that get drunk, they pass out, I cut their eyebrows off. Put the head in the garbage can and wake up in the morning, the head in the garbage can. When a nigga wake up and he realize his head in the garbage can, I want him to realize something. You were too far gone. There's no way you should let me cut your eyebrow. There's no way in the world your head should be in no garbage can. But a nigga be pissed now. But guess why? I was able to do all this because of what? So how am I managing to beat you and shoot you and you have no gun and these people start praying for me? How did I manage to lock you up and got video showing you unarmed, you never did nothing, and people still saying, well, we need to really investigate it. Because, nigga, you still high. They're not going to let me take no white man and shoot no white man, and they got footage, video of it live, every which way we lose, and they're going to take no months and years to investigate it and to see where they're going to indict me while I be paid, while I'm off from my job. It's immediate what's going to happen to me. White folks coming to get me and put me because you know why? They not high. You cannot afford to be in control of your faculties at all times. That's how he'll work you. That's good. I just want them to see that. What we gonna do? We gotta do something different. Just can't keep gathering, just getting information. We gotta get information, we gotta process information. Then we gotta display it when we go out here. That's how we gotta do it. There's an effect, cause and effect. Tornado come through and hit the building, it'll leave it just like it is. There's going to be an effect. Y'all got it? We need to show America there's an effect for what you've done to us. We are a nation. We won't ever call ourselves just, people can be dispersed, be gathered. You people go home. When you ever heard say, you nation go home? Who you ever heard that? You nation leave. You ever heard that statement? The people need to go home. People leave. No one tells a nation to do anything. See, just the little minute verbiage of people, nation makes a difference. A nation is recognized, not people. People are sheep to the slaughter. Commercials are for people, they're not for nations. I show you a McDonald's commercial because I'm trying to get nations to get them, am I? People. Show you Nike shoes because I'm trying to get nations to buy them. People. People are not free thinkers. Got to build us up and be a nation, but there has to be a consensus that we all agree that this is a problem. Do we all not agree that there is a problem with how the so-called Negro is being treated in America? Then we need to come up with a protocol. We need to come up with a plan. We need to form a resolution. Y'all got it? We have to form a constitution. That's what they use to use. Listen, they got all kind of things to cover themselves. If there's a disagreement against states or whatever it might be, then they'll take it up to the courts. The courts have decided, and when they find that the lower courts can't decide, and federal courts or appellate courts can't decide it, then you give it to the Supreme Court. You're only going to get Supreme because it's all going to correlate and come back from the Greeks. The Greeks and the Latins. Hello? Imperium? These are Roman Latin words. It means superior. That's the supreme. That's how they get you. A lot of stuff, America's a copycat. America not originated anything. Even with capturing you and enslaving you, America watched and stole it from other people, from other nations that took you down from being a nation. Our people never recognize ourselves as people. We recognize ourselves as a nation. When he writes, he'll write and call you people. A people can be dispersed. You can't disperse a nation. A nation stands alone. That's what I want for my people, to be a nation. We build a nation. We fix our homes. Y'all got it? We create equality for our people. We have to make sure fair. It's not government rule or government right or government authority to come in and make things fair for us. We make things fair for ourselves. You see with the homosexual society years ago, how many of y'all grew up when being homosexual was looked down on? You were ragged, you were called out, you were ashamed, you better hide and be undercover. Now these people got rights. You say something funny, say something against it, you coming off that TV. We snatching that commercial. Your business gonna be boycotted. We take you down because they've gotten together and got a consensus. Yes, we're wrong. Yes, we shouldn't be doing it. Yes, we know we shouldn't do it. Yes, we know we're child molested. Yes, our minds are altered and crooked, but we still need to be recognized as a nation. So they got rights, they got rules, they got a constitution form for them. They got, listen, anything that came against them, they went back and retroed it. When they put them out of the military for being homosexual, people lost their benefit. They lost their whole career benefit, lost their pension, lost their insurance. Don't you know when Obama came in, he reactivated, gave them folk back all their stuff. What my 4 acres of my mule? Oh, I'm gonna kill that mule. Yeah. Why you ain't activate my stuff? Right. First thing you ran here and gave some sense and some right. Where my land? Where my money? I get that mule, I'm gonna pimp that mule. I'm gonna sell that mule, I'm gonna flip it. Take that mule, flip it, come on me with a team of horses. That thing done been to Kentucky Derby. But see, these are the things we have to look at. I don't need to get mad with the homosexual. We ought to be mad with ourselves. But before any of these people look at them, 5 Chinese people got slapped. Senate came right in and paid law bills again. And they got up and walked away. They ain't get stomped. They ain't get, listen, they gave them Bill of Rights. Illegal to slap an Asian. Now everybody know they can walk around like they Bruce Lee. Everybody getting nunchucks, hanging on their shirt. They ain't got to use them. Because they signed bill, they gave them rights. They were recognized. You know why? Because they were a nation. Am I saying hate them? No. Hate your situation. Hate your situation enough that you change it. That's what you got to do. Yeah, you can go violent, you can go fight, you can go get guns and shoot it out with them. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a real cause for what you're doing, you'll be right back where you started. It don't start with the gun and knife, it starts with intelligence. It starts us recognizing ourselves, recognize our creator. What did he deem and what did he purpose for us? Because all you deemed for me was to be a slave and die. I can't use it. If that's you, use somebody else. And they play a game where we slap mother blood. Let me start, you said, do that with somebody else. That's basically what we are. We on a game called Let's Slap a Mother, and we the mother. Tell them, do that game with somebody else. I don't want to play that game. You ain't got to play it because everybody else playing. I don't want to play it. You have that right. You have that option as a people. You don't have to explain to white people how you feel. They know what they done. Those people that they hang up great-granny, great-grandpappy, and the folk before them, and the slave letter, these people that hated you. These people demoralized, they took from you, they lied to you. Under the same premise of the God that you still reading, your grandmama and granddad, they still serving. So at some point, wake up, nigga, and get conscious. We can't be played anymore. Joy Bush told him, man, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, shame on, I won't be fooled again. I won't be fooled again. That's what Bush told. He said, it don't matter how you say it. He let him know, I won't be fooled again. Isn't that right? He said, that's an old saying in Texas. Isn't that what he said? I'm from Texas today. It's an old saying from Texas. I won't be fooled again. You have that right. You have that choice. Everything you do is a choice, whether you take it or not. You just got to look at what benefits you, what fits you, what works for you. Every idea I tell you don't work. It don't fit everybody. This is an idea. The whole plan of salvation is an idea. Instead of all of burning, being destroyed, dying from these ailments, and then going to nowhere but burning forever, don't it make sense to look at other ideas? What's the alternative? You got, somebody come and say you got an insurance plan. This plan right here, they're paying him $450 a month. Woo, $450 a month. I'm thinking what I bring in, $450 a month. Woo. You got anything else? Because I need insurance. I just can't afford $450 a month. Yeah, there are some other options. See, they make you buy into one. You never ask for any other options. So you either take or have nothing. There are options on the table. The whole thing of what Mr. Yahuwah is giving us, it's an idea. It's an idea you subscribe to or you don't. At the end of the day, you're taking a chance with anything you're doing. I'd rather take a chance on right and morally feeling good about myself, not because a white man said, because I love some me. See, a lot of times you could do stuff, cars, jewelry, homes, none of this stuff actually make happiness. These are just things that'll actually run you ragged if you don't have yourself in the right perspective. That's right. See, if you look for these things to be your joy and be your comfort, you'll constantly keep running, you'll never be happy. A lot of people never happy with themselves. Me, you want me to tell what made me happy? I will go home right now and smoke me with him and go to sleep. I'm happy. I don't have to do everything because I'm good with me. I don't need no white man to grade me to tell me what's better about me or what I need to do. That's what he needs to do for him. And he needs me to do what he does so I can help him feel good about himself. That's why he put his rules and regulations on us. All the rules and regulations I need is from the one that controls everything I do. That's Mr. Yahuwah. Everybody, you can keep yours. Hello? Yes, sir. That's just being honest. You go to places, they say, no weapons, nothing in their play. I don't need to go in there. You keep it. Because the folk they're going to come here and rock, they play read that note too. Yep. So this is a setup. You got a big old sign, hold, stop. Don't come here, no gun, no knife, no spray, no nothing. So what the criminal read? Hold on, I'm finna run in here and rob them niggas. But that sign said no guns, no pepper spray, no nothing. That nigga said, man, they like taking candy from a baby. So I tell you, you can go ahead and keep that place. I don't need it. See, you got choices. Oh, man, I got to go on in there. Who protecting you? See, listen, you can be a person that got yourself set on you just going about your business, going about your way, doing your thing. That's not everybody's intent. Some people don't have the creativity in their mind to realize you don't have to take from people, you can create. You can associate yourself with people that can help set you in a better situation. So instead of doing that, they feel like it's too much time lost. So I just rather take from somebody else. And I want that person that got their mind taken from me, I want it to be your last take of your life. Because you don't need, because if you take me, you'll take from some old lady. You'll take from some little baby, some little school kid trying to go to school. There's no reason for you to continue to live. There's no reason for you to continue to live. But that's an option people take. I like to set our people in some better options. You know why people take that option or take it from people other than making it? Because it doesn't seem probable. It doesn't seem logical to make it. Because the system is not designed up for us to make it. It's just not. It's designed for you to work. If you live long enough, you retire. Then you die. So either way it goes, either you die while you're working or you die right after you retire. So you never get to live. White folk live, retire, work again, retire, live. You ever see them down south living late like, oh, they getting more and more. I had a white guy in my neighborhood, he stopped me one time to meet me when I first got, he said, how you doing? Introduced himself to me, I said, how you doing? He said, yeah, just got back in town, so I'm getting ready to go again. I said, oh, okay. He just tell me about it. He said, yeah, me and my wife, he said, my first wife died and her husband died and we were married. He said, boy, we've been having fun. I said, wow. He said, we just be going. He said, all right, now you take care, and drove on off. I said, you happy, lucky mother. Yeah. And then they got excited. He said, boy, they doing so. That man said he's so happy. He said, man, I said, God the mighty no. Started going out with a chucking knife. But, you know, and that's not hating him. It's just the fact they put themselves in the situation where while they living, you ain't got to suffer your whole living. We suffer sometimes ignorantly because of things. It don't mean that things won't happen, but a lot of things can be preventive. They have certain things they'll tell you to take. It's called preventive medicine. And that's to keep you from. Somebody says, well, I ain't like that. I'd rather wait till I get it. Sometimes it can be a bad cause. But when you can do preventive, then you lessen the blow if things were to intensify. What usually hurts us and crashes us is the fact we don't do preventive maintenance. We don't do preventive care. The whole purpose of coming in here, aligning ourselves with the book, this is our preventive care. Because now when we read, we look at who's the real orchestrator, who's the real facilitator of anything right or wrong? Yahuwah. So then I didn't know, what is his protocol? What avenues have you aligned for people who align themselves with you when all these things happen? That's why I'm here. All right, we'll move forward. We'll let them get ready to sign the Kato Sarah. After that, we'll stand, recognize Mr. Yahuwah, why he's definitely worthy of it. Because one for him, these folks would have surely extinct all of us. They're working on it, but I'm holding on. I got roach DNA. I ain't going nowhere. Kick that roach. You said one leg. You like that bastard ain't dead yet. I'm going to get me a shirt. I want to make me up one book called I Got Roach DNA. It'll be tight. Make sure I get it. Ain't that right? I remember Kerry said, man, I'm doing that project, man. Said, man, you been up, man, you can smell them. It be them raw feces. I said, man, I ain't never think about a road take a dump. I said, Kenny, he said, man, you be outside, man. You can smell them raw feces. I said, I didn't even thought about a road taking a dump. You ever seen a roast turd? No. Me neither. I think they dump, they just pick it up and take it with us, and them niggas will know we been here. Yeah, they take a little bag, they take a little doggy bag and bag it up and take it with them. All right, we're going to get ready to sign the Kato Sarah. All right, listen. All right. Most High, Kudash Abba, which is the separated Father. Hadu, which is thanks for all you've done and you granted unto us, for allowing us another opportunity to assemble ourselves to be able to hear your dabarim, which are your words, for allowing us to shama, which is to obey, that which you committed to our trust, asking you to baraka us, which is bestow a gift upon us, that you would allow your piney, your face, to or upon us, which is lighten. Let your piney be our encampment and our protection, which is your presence. We ask you for, we are Yakra by your Shem, which is called by your name. Yahuwah Elohim, the Most High, Al Shaddai, who is Abir, who is mighty. We ask you to search us and see if there be any Rasha Darak, which are any evil ways. Cast it from us and lead us in the Arak everlasting, which is the way of life. Let the debar of our paw, which are the words of our mouth, let the meditation of our lives, which is of our hearts, be accepted in your sight. And as we prepare to move further, we palau, in which we ask that you take full control, that you get the tahalim, the praises, the kabud, the glory, and the kabad, the honor. In the Shem of Yahushua, Yahushua HaMashiach, let us all say, Amen. All right, talk with y'all a little bit here. We'll see how they go. Now, I remember my question by Shamshun. Y'all remember that? All right, let's see why we use. This is 15:4, the book of Romans. We use the BethHaMashiach.com. We use his script. We also use the Septuagint. Periodically, we will pull up the Septuagint, which means what, brother Akeem? 70. There's the Greek word for 70. So we go back to look at 70. Now, what people should consider, the Greek word 70 is what they call the Septuagint. Now, you have the King James perversion. You have 66. Let us also note that that would denote that you have 4 books missing. Now, also, let's look at the Septuagint does not even include what they call the New Testament. You have 66 altogether.
Right. That's right.
The Greeks saying they have 70 and they don't even have your New Testament.
That's right. That's right.
That's how much misinformation we deal with. Mm-hmm. So we also use the Latin Vulgate. Isn't that right? Amazing, they call it the Vulgate. We rooted down to what? Vulgar. The man wrote a book and told you it was vulgar. And now you're reading a book that's been so-called transliterated. I mean, what I call it? Transgendered. Isn't that right? They transgendered this book. They mangled it, made a mess out of it, and gave it to us, and then we ran off with it. You got a book that's been conjured, worked on since 1602. When it got started in 1611, they supposed to quote-unquote release that version. The white people that took it and brought it here took what they had and didn't even have a J, had a Y, and gave you a J and told to change the whole enunciation of the name and told you the name meant salvation, which is not possible. They took something that was given to them and changed it to what they like. How many times have we ran into this? They gave you Christopher Columbus and showed you a white man he was believed to be black. Most of y'all didn't know that, did you? Yeah? Christopher Columbus was believed to be black. Let me tell you something. These white folk have been too thin, too skinny, and too many rougher shirts and buckle shoes to get out any one of these islands and go up some sand running, wide slap over, shooting somebody with a mustard gun. You know how tired you're gonna be if you got that boat, you finna run here and fight my African self. I got on grass skirt, I got stuff wrapped around my ankle, around my wrist, I got spears, I got blow dart guns, everything. I gotta shoot stuff. Say about one of them white boys fall in that rougher shirt, get the flap, and the other niggas ain't gonna fall to sea, they gonna fall right in the water. But it works for you. So the white man came under the cover as help, as friend. Hello? That's how we work. People got ring cameras, other stuff in their house. So you see people, they pull up in your yard. You can see them. Well, that car, who caused that? You start to recognize, I don't know that car. Somebody get out, who is that person in that car? I don't know. This is a strange person, so what do? Open the door, go out there, man, hey, strange person, I don't recognize your car, and I came out to meet you. Is that what you do? Or what do? You grab your gun, your weapon. You get ready to protect yourself. You get your phone. If I got a call after I release a shot. because I just saw a strange car I never saw and a person get out of it that I don't know. And I don't know what your intent is. So you telling me the people that look like me came along were dumber than me. They seen a boat full of fair-skinned people, and some told them to run out there and start hugging them and let them capture them. Well, people came under cover, they needed help. They know the so-called Negroes are a person that'll help people. And they used and took advantage of it, just like they did with the Indians. They didn't jump out the boat to fight the Indians. Came here and they told lies. They were pilgrims in search of a new land. They had been kicked out of their country. Same way he got to Australia, but we believe the lie because it fits a school book. The white man came to Australia as criminals, as prisoners. Now he got a hat and stuck a thimble in his, a tack in the side of his head, and then he come from the land down under. They could get a boomerang and throw it and swing and come back and say that kind of stuff that you put out, it coming right back around to you. White man, get ready for your boomerang. All these people we ran into, we didn't know these people were criminals. They were liars. They were robbers and rapers. And now these people are prime ministers, presidents, their children. How is it you're a product of your rearing and your family, but they ain't a product of theirs? How that work? My dad was in and out of prison. My dad was on drugs. This is all hypothetical, he wasn't, but all that, they're going to tell me that plays a part of anything I do. They're going to say, you know what it is? Your dad was arrested. Looking through your record, your dad was on drugs, so your behavior makes sense based off of here. How they behavior don't make sense based off their father's behavior? How you can't you can't judge us for slavery, for what they did back then. I don't know how when you're doing the same thing. Because you're a product of your rearing. They'll tell you, it said, Nate, I was going to the doctor. I had to fill out paperwork. You know what they want to know? Family history. My family history. They don't know about what my mom did. Your mama had cancer? I want to know what my mama ain't getting no physical. I'm getting a physical. What about your dad? He had a heart problem. My dad, I'm getting one. What about your grandmama, your granddad? Maternal. Did they have any kind of issue, health issue? Because they're going to use that to say anything they find. You know you got that from your great-grandmama. But guess what? I'm going to get a white man that hate niggas, beat niggas, shoot niggas, and guess what happened? I want to first hold to say, I don't have a racist bone in my body. Every bone in your body racist. That's right. See, you can't never use one of them. Why I can't get his family history so I can find out about his grandmama and his mama? See, why is it only you can do it for you, though? Why is it you the only one because of where you grew up at is the way you act? How is it that it don't work for him? He grew up in Clan County and still a good person. But you can't be a good person. You come from a bad neighborhood. Who's the judge of it? You? It's him. Whose standard is it, yours or his? Like Muhammad told him, who you think he gonna say won? When Muhammad was shown, when they showed him the video of him and Rocky Marciano fighting, digitally fighting, and they told Muhammad he lost, he said, who machine is it? He said, it's a white man machine. He said, who you think the machine gonna say won? They took the tape down. They said, we done with that tape. Get rid of it. Muhammad done made it racist. He's like, it's just the truth. He said, you put me in there with your greatest white fighter and digitally done this, and you let a computer grade it, your white computer. Yep. What you thought your computer gonna say? Yeah, they make it see, and they all, why it gotta be about race? Everything about race. Everything about race. Don't let nobody, every race fighting for superiority. When they come to the United Nations, when people making deals, you know who they there recognize, who they there representing? Their nation. That's why they have that meeting. They're representing their nation. That's an opportunity for somebody to say, hey, look over here. We're not being recognized. Hey, when y'all guys are out here in this water, y'all are on our territory. Hey, our people are being starved. When you guys are shooting missiles and stuff, this stuff is affecting our people over here. And people got to look and say, hey, we didn't know that. We got to stop it. That's why I'm here at the table, is to bring recognition to our people. Who sent to that table for us? So why things aren't changing? Because we're not praying hard enough. Don't be stupid. Pray harder. You got to get yourself in position where you can be recognized. Religion can be a bad thing as well as it can be beneficial. It's all about how you use it. Just like cocaine. If you're using a numb area so you can work on it, so you can correct an issue or an ill, cocaine can actually be good. But if you're using cocaine so you can alter the way you think, so you can put yourself in another area of doing things or calling yourself to relieve yourself, to get away from things or to have fun, it can be detrimental. It got health consequences. So religion, at the same token, be the same way. It can be beneficial based upon how you use it. Religion is just a practice. That's what people don't look at. Like they'll tell you some guy, this guy does this religiously. So it's a practice. It's a practice and a method. So you just gotta watch how people give it to you. Some people, they say, man, what is, oh man, no, not religion. I can't do religion. People get up, you know what, every morning I get up at 6 o'clock. What is that? See that? It's a practice. You know what? Why don't I run from that? Every day I get up, I put my pants on first, then my socks. It can be a religion. That's just how I dress and how I do things. So that's the practice of how I do things. So all we had to look at what practice worked. Hello? That's what we try to do. So you don't have to let things scare you off when you hear a certain word like religion. You just got to know how is it being used, how you facilitate it. That's all it is, how it's being used, okay? So that's what we do. So we look at this and we go through to examine everybody be questioned.
That's right.
I use Romans 15:4. Does a person have to use this when they start off? Yes, no. That's a religion. That's a religion. Religion. And the reason why I use it, and I can explain why I use it, is because before I do anything, and being a builder by trade, is I have to make sure my foundation is right. If my foundation not right, I can't properly build. Now, when I take off from here, I'll start constructing. If my foundation's not good, it's coming down. So this give me my perimeters of knowing I can't go outside of my foundation. I don't build with, lower confines than what my foundation. So I gotta make sure I stay right on the plateau, what's been stepped. And the foundation been laid, the Shaul, they call Apostle Paul, said, he said, I have laid the foundation. He said, now every other ish, which is every other man, he has to be careful how he build thereupon. You look at my foundation is strong. You put some old flim-flam stuff, it's coming down, but my foundation gonna stand. So I try to follow the same protocol. I try to set myself with a foundation. My foundation is this when I'm going, because I take off and I be going places. That for whatever was...
Nik Katab before.
Well, Katab at that point was, Nik Katab was written before.
Nik Katab for our Lamed.
It was written to show us. So...
that we through endurance.
See that? Without giving way, always remember that. Endurance is not giving way. That's how you beat people out. Football field, basketball field, to get 48 minutes is about endurance. Everything you're doing, baseball, whatever you're doing, extra, it's about endurance. A lot of times you run. You know how some people lose games? It ain't really because another team might be better in playing. It's sometimes endurance. Yeah, you mess around, you put an extra in it, going to overtime. A lot of people don't practice for overtime. A lot of people, if it's 48 minutes, I'm practicing for 48 minutes. Then you mess around, we don't win in a 2-minute overtime. And this overtime can keep going. You know what you realize? You breaking down. Now, they didn't beat you because they were better skill. They were just better trained for endurance. Yeah. We are the type of people where we have to work. There's no way to do this unless you're training for endurance. We're not going for no 48 minutes. We planning to go longer than that. Yeah. You got to. There's always that chance that it'll happen. That's how they beat us out. Just like when we go out and we go to protest. How long we stay out there? The weekend.
Yep.
Because we don't have endurance. We don't stay out there until we look at, we're going to stay out here until we win. We're going to stay out here for however long it takes until we get results. See, we don't even think like, that's the people that organize these months. What are we out here for? We out here to try to tell them we tired. All I gotta do is sit on the ground. Everybody ride by and I put my hand out, they gonna say, ooh, that nigga tired. You see what I'm saying? The stuff that you actually Martin to demonstrate is what? Because he doesn't recognize it. We'll come on, what we gonna have? On October 23rd, we're gonna have all black people don't buy nothing. Them niggas gonna double up on the 22nd and triple on the 24th.
Yeah.
White man said, woo, you showed me, nigga. And I will be killing you on the 25th, 26th on down. Because we don't ever get people to bring us out with a viable reason. See, people will use us and bring us out so they can get contracts, so they can get deals, so they can get funding. They can get sponsored from these white people. Because they'll make them think that they can bring us and rouse us out and make them think, you know, I had to talk them down. They were going, them niggas you got wasn't finna do nothing. They wasn't finna do nothing. They came out there empty-handed. You don't come to no gunfight with no knife. That's stupid. You come to a gunfight with a gun. You come to a knife fight with a sword. You always looking at, you need more. Whatever you come with, you need more. Because how far are you willing to go in order to accomplish what you came for? That's why white people don't respect us when we come out. We don't come out with no guns. Guns is only violence. We bring out guns, they gonna kill us. Why are we out there? Because they killed us and we were unarmed. So we do, let's go out with no guns and tell them. How stupid that just sound? Why are you out here? Because they killed us unarmed. And what we're going to do, we're going to go out here, no guns, nothing, and we're going to tell them, don't do it again. Whew. Scare white people. And don't forget the power of prayer, religion. Because all about you don't want to offend your God. Why he ain't worried about gun? Why don't he give up his gun and get a Bible? Ask them why they go out there and pull out a Bible and say, let me tell you, did you know that God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son? Why don't they get these criminals and get on their knees and pray with them like you do with your oppressor? Why they got a gun, a flashlight, mace, a taser, a bulletproof vest, boots, or a shotgun inside, and a radio? Because they prayer warriors. They're prayer warriors. And you're going to walk out here with a Bible. And time out for asking me anything. Let's just break away.
That's right.
Let them have it. Let's just be honest. Let them have it. They want to think, oh, he want to shoot white people. No, I want to kill stupidity.
Yeah.
Whose stupidity? Ours. Because it's foolish for us to think he's going to just give us something because we asked. My man walking ain't got no gun. Come on, walk down the street. You go that way. Come in this way, walk down the street. Oh. Hey man, Skip, give me all your money. Why not? Can I have? Exactly. I ain't got nothing. What gonna make him give it to me? Make no sense because I asked. Please. Everybody know what is it? That's the magic word. That's how you make a fool out of it every time.
Every time.
Makes absolutely no sense. So here I am. I want rights, equality. I want freedom and opportunity. Why don't I just ask him? How that? Let me get this straight. You telling me y'all got processed the logic of why Cam wouldn't give me his money? How many of y'all need to pray on that and figure why he wouldn't give it to me? Because I had nothing to enforce my will. That's right. I want your money. The man said no. I said, pretty please. And you said no. I said, will you at least think about it? See, there's nothing to encourage Cam to give me his money. I have no force behind my speech. Right. You're not going to believe it. Them crackers ain't dumber than Cam. Let me stop it. Too simple. It's too easy. How you say humpback? Easy. Makes no sense. For whatever was written before was written to
teach us,
show us, enlighten us, so that through
endurance,
not giving way, and through
nakum.
Okay. Anybody here been in a competitive sport or track or internet? You ever got tired? Why you keep going? Because the coach. Reward. That's what'll make a person keep going. Reward. What do we get if I keep going? What will we achieve if I keep pushing? Yahuwah know ain't stupid. What am I sitting up here with enduring for? For what? So you can just endure. For what? So you can obtain. That gives me the drive. See, the reason why the Negro ain't went out here to really do what he need to do, what's the driving? What's your motivation? What's your motivation? He knows that if I'm going to take what was written and I understand what was it written for, so you don't give way. Okay, so I don't give in. To get what? It's a surprise. You sound like them crackers. I need to know what I'm getting. Consolation. Consolation. I need to know what's the consolation. Y'all got it. Can we look up what the word consolation means? They use consolation. We use nakum. Isn't that right? So we have a book called Nakum. He called it Naham. Everything gonna have a pork sound in it. Isn't that right? Man, give you somebody in the book. His name is Lut. He gonna call him Lot. He gonna let a nigga know he ain't gonna never get no acreage. He just gonna give him a lot. Little quarter-acre lot. That's all he gonna get. Consolation. Yeah, I got consultation. I've been doing that. Consolation, this is by Giggle. He called himself Google, but he's laughable. The comfort received by a person after a loss or disappointment. I need something. Let me ask y'all a question. Slavery, what we gain? Nothing. Lost. Our people dying, what do we gain? Nothing. Our kids being taken incarcerated. Nothing. So we need something for what's happened. You ought to just have the satisfaction of it ain't happening no more. That's not going to work. We need something after the loss. Y'all hear? We need to receive comfort by after a loss or a disappointment. Listen, the 40 acres of mule didn't come through. What they had, indentured servitude. That's what it came. Indentured servitude was never for niggas, it was for white people. It was when you work for 7 years and a white man gonna give you something after. It was never for us. We worked longer than 7 years. I don't know why no nigga come up trying to tell you about no indentured servant. That's just retarded. It wasn't for you. That's how white people brought white people and other people over. At the promise of work for me for 7 years, then I'm going to give you something. They stole it from you. Jacob, who they called Jacob, had to work for his first Ashah, his Isha, his wife, for how long? 7 years. And then he received. Where do you think white people got it from? That's where they got it from. And guess what he received? What he didn't want. Same thing when he tried to act like he did it for us. He stole it from you, and then he called it indentured servant. That was the agreement that Jacob made with Laban, his father-in-law. That I will name your wages for your wife, for your daughter, your bath. He said, work me 7 years. Okay, I'll work 7 years. After the end of 7 years, I should get some consolation. Because this is a disappointment. This is a loss. I'm losing time. We lost over 400 years here. You don't need no Nakum? So when you ask for stuff, it don't make sense because you don't know what to ask for. Even the book of Jacob, they call James, said, you have not. And when you ask wrong. I'm not going to ask no white man for my freedom. I'm going to take my freedom. I'm not going to ask no white man for no right to do. I'm going to do. Because I already know he's not going to give it to me if I ask him. Let me guess. Well, that's the right way to do it. I know. So the biggest thing when you read, to understand their words, the comfort received by a person after a loss or a disappointment. So when you're reading, where the power comes in, when you understand the magnitude of words. That's why he beat us at. We recite words. We're not really readers anyway. We more or less sight reciters. Most people don't read anyway. You'll call. He put consultation up there. I'm gonna thought with consolation. Because you'll see a couple of familiar letters and you just more or less you buy into the other. Very few people really read. They really just kind of glance and go, and your mind goes from memory. That's how it works to make sure you stay here. You memory learn how to be a slave. I reposted on Twitter a tweet that I found about a young girl named Judah. Y'all saw I sent it over to y'all. Young girl named Judah. She was in slavery in the 1800s. She poisoned her master's kid and killed him. She burned his house down. She did all that from 14 to 16. And I put on Twitter that she should be celebrated. She was kidnapped and brought here to America to be a slave. She had to cook and bring them food. She poisoned his kids. She burned his house to the ground. She is a true hero. I know what they're going to say. How you do that to babies? I've been waiting on you to answer that for so long, it's ridiculous. I have been waiting on you to answer that, so I can answer. I can't answer it till he answers it. Don't ask me no that's a loaded question. You know what she saw? These bastards will grow and do the same thing. So I'm going to end it for me now. I'm not going to let him stay here and sleep in his house after he's raped and molested me. I'll burn his house to the ground. She's a hero. She need to be celebrated. They're going to say, well, them kids were lost. Well, in war, you got to have some casualties. Her daddy should have thought about when he kidnapped that baby. He kidnapped that baby who very well could have been one of our grandmothers, our aunts, or sisters, or cousins, who knows, a great-great-grandmother. But she was a hero, and she should be celebrated. See, they won't look at it that way. White people won't want to talk about it. They'll say, she was a murderer. What were your people? They burned down whole countries. That girl should have went through and burned every slave master property she could find. Every one of them babies she caught, she should have killed them. Because you're going to grow to become. They do the same thing with us. If a child is the product of a parent that's in prison, they're going to feel like that child's going to grow up and be a criminal. Well, we're looking at the children of slave owners are going to grow up to be slave owners, so cut them off now. You can't do that in the church. Church, we got to pray. Pray for them babies. Nobody going to pray for that girl who's a victim, who only means of survival was taken away and destroying the people that took her and her freedom. See, we're not angry with white people because they hadn't been the facilitators of our demise. Y'all hear me? Of our depletion of people. It is because you are the controller of it. So we can never be happy here. We can never be happy here. We can separate. And I say it all the time. It ain't every white person. We're talking about a system. It ain't every individual white person. But for a white person to go in and say that I'm not a part of it, you're not a solution to it either then. They're going to have to co-sign with what we're saying. You're going to have to co-sign and say that you're with us. You can't take neutral and say, well, I never owned slave. You ain't did nothing to stop him either. Did you help him escape? Come on. I see a little kid get kidnapped. I said, well, I ain't kidnapped him. Could I have stopped it? Could I intervene? Then I'm part of the kidnapping. Oh, that's crazy. They got a law called the Good Samaritan law. Hypothetically, let me use this young man. He don't have to. Hypothetically, he went on this. Hypothetically, he's standing here. He passed out. He unconscious. I'm walking by. Oh goodness. So we ain't gonna be you gonna stand. Yeah, but you would lean too bad. He said, babe, come on, sit right here. I can't use it. That's the first thing I look at. You can't use everybody. It's how you hang your head. It make a difference. But I tried though, didn't I? We'll try it one more time. Now, come on, big man. I'm gonna make this up. Cause it's just enough, but he's standing here, hypothetically, he passed out, or he unconscious, and I walk by. I seen him when he passed. I walked by and looked, and said, keep going. Now, I did nothing to help, and then later on, we found out this man could have been saved, rendered aid that could have rescued him and kept him alive, but I myself kept going by. I seen it, I knew about it, but this was not my, it wasn't my fight, wasn't my plight, wasn't my problem. I'm worried about myself, and I'm gonna keep going. Therefore, I will be criminally charged and should be criminally charged for not rendering aid to help a fellow human being. Let's not go with black, a human being. Let's go with that first, man. A human being, a living form, person, creature. And I decided to keep going because it wasn't my problem. And I could have helped. I'm wrong. The Good Samaritan law should have kicked in that they have. That's for white people. Let's go. They're not going to show you no Samaritan being black. They're going to show you a white man. It's about you helping white people. You illustrating aid and help the white people. And they make it a law, and they can use it at liberty. Now, you know, as an individual, as a citizen, I have the right, whether or not I want to help him, I can keep going. But if they decide this was a white man, a white baby, white boy, and I didn't, they can come and say, you know, we typically know, but this time we're going to institute the Good Samaritan law. That person could have very well been helped and been saved, but me, out of my selfishness, my ill will, and my selfishness of, it ain't my problem. I ain't have nothing to do with this. That's him, and I'm going to keep going. Therefore, I should be criminally charged. All these white folk that tell you they ain't own slave, and you know about it, and you know your granddaddy, grandpappy, you know they're a part of you, saying, your white behind need to be in prison. Charged by us, not by other white people. What other white people going to charge them with? Because they do the same thing. What are they going to charge them with? What you gonna get a drug? I'm gonna put a drug dealer on trial for dealing drugs. Okay? Criminally, he's been dealing drugs. I got a jury of 12 peers, drug dealers. They're gonna plead. They're gonna probably come out with a guilty verdict. Hold on for a minute. Let's start this. Hold on. Let's not do that. Think about your answer. Okay? We're gonna charge this black guy, okay, drug dealer, for illegally dealing drugs. Pay attention. They're not going to charge you with dealing drugs. Pay attention to what they're saying. Illegally, which means there are legal drugs. See, pay attention to connotations. You can't charge them for drugs. You're going to charge them for illegally doing it. Meaning, if you licensed and recognized by me, it's illegally dealing. Which meaning, if you got your paperwork and you with the right pharmaceutical company, then it's legal, okay? So now I'm gonna charge him. I need to charge him. We're gonna take him to trial. He has refused to plead guilty, which means he has a right to a jury trial, which means I need to bring in his peers. I'm going to bring in 12 white people. Why they not? He's black, he's a drug dealer. So I'm gonna bring these people in from the office and from Jerry Springer. Jerry Seinfeld. I'm gonna bring in from Friends. I'm gonna take 4 from each one of the shows so I can have 12, and I'm gonna put them here, a jury of his peers, so they can come back when they hear the case and they can decide whether or not he should go to prison. Not their peers. So how that work for you? Because it should be 12 drug dealers. Black drug dealers. So they can make the claim and look and say, looking at it from how we view things, our culture, and how things are, we say guilty or not guilty. But they won't ever give you that opportunity with them. I know they say, that makes absolute sense. That's like putting 12 murders on. No, I'm just trying to get them to understand how detrimental it is. When you put a white bone trial and you put 12 white people on that, they're going to look at it from a white person's standpoint because you got 2 things you can do. They can judge it from the law or they can judge it from how they stand and how they feel. You don't have to use the law. A jury does not have to come in with just law. You can give them law. They can judge based off of their opinion, not guilty. You're not dealing with people that just got stayed with law. You're dealing with people that have opinion. That's the difference when white people go to trial and why they can fight and go. Because all they got to do is get people that look like them that can agree and understand how they operate. And your opinion is. People ain't real. A judge does opinion. When you give stuff up to the courts come back. Most of y'all people don't listen. They say it is our opinion. Opinion ain't fact. Let's see what the word opinion means. Because you hear stuff, but you never examine it. We don't know until we examine it. Opinion. Who we going to use? Giggle. A view or formed about necessarily based on, hold on, take it time, y'all move too fast. A view or judgment formed about something based on, this will get you right here. You know how many niggas sitting in prison cause of not necessarily? Did you know that when you go and need people, that your black behind can be out of here off of not necessarily? See, can you pull up any judge writing where they say, it is our opinion of court? Let's see had that been used. We don't want to make up nothing and lie on people, whether they're white or black. Lying on people ain't got nothing to do with color. It's just wrong. Y'all got it? It's just wrong. I wouldn't lie on nobody white. I don't care if it's the Klan. I seen a Klan, he ain't do nothing. Somebody go, yeah, because he a cracker Klan, he guilty of it. Then ain't no better than them. See, that's our problem. We try to judge them with the same judgment that you. It don't work. We're saying their judgment flawed. We can't use it. I can't use it for him because it's not fair. Y'all got it? Woo, I thought I was back there doing it. That man spelled judge with about 4 D's on a J at the end. Don't worry, that one went to college too. Well, you did pretty good in college, didn't you? Why y'all laughing? Y'all don't believe it? Why y'all laughing? Y'all don't believe the man in college? Why that wife? You don't believe your husband called it? Yeah, I know you need somewhere to stay. He a mean joker. I know that he's a mean joker. You know, like, I heard somebody say he's an angry man. I say, term opinion as used here refers to several types of writings, by the most well-known are of the court announced in a case in which the court has heard oral arguments, each sets out the court's judgment and its reasoning. That's how they get you. You're giving stuff to these people, it ain't even got to be based off necessarily facts. It's just based off of, that's how I judge it. That's how dangerous it is for you to go sit in their courtrooms and for these people to judge you that you don't know what you're setting yourself up for. Well, I don't want to use a jury because jury is too stupid anyway. I just let the judge do it. And the judge will tell you it is in my opinion. When they tell you that already, I don't have enough facts, but based off what I know and how I feel, my gut feeling, you out of here. Do y'all understand how dangerous that is for us? That we go to places and people actually handle you talking about your life, what they rule will damage you forever based off of your feelings, your opinion, and you're gonna make an opinion about something that you don't have all the facts about? In this court's opinion, because there's some people that back him. That shoots us in the foot. That ain't scary to y'all? That somebody can get you and just make an opinion and don't even have all the facts? That ain't scary? That somebody can pull you over and say, you know what? You had drugs on you. You said, what? Yeah, you just tried to chew them up and swallow them. And that man go to court and the man don't say, well, this person is an officer of the court. If this person said that he seen him do it, that's what he did. And it is in this court's opinion. That man can be gone, taken away from his family, taken away from his kid, messed up, rather get out, can't get occupation, can't work, can't provide for family, they're back in prison, based off opinions. This happens to people that look like us every day. All right, let's finish up. I just want to know about opinions. That through endurance and through consolation, the cum of the...
Get the bean.
That's right. So the scripture had to come back to give us, had to come in and soothe us. Give us something because of the loss. Because of the discomfort, because of the disappointment. We had to receive something. We might have...
Tikva.
Tikva, we talk about, is a cord. Something you can attach. Y'all got it? Yes, this is what attaches us because we lost something. Yeah. And we need to be reconnected. Sometimes people gone, they had an arm, something broken or cut. They had to say, we have to do what to it? Reattach it. That's what Yahuwah did with the book. We were cut off. When Yahuwah told us we were cut off, we understood it from a tree, or ox. When a branch is cut off from a tree, what happens to the branch? It dies. So now we're here, like, I had to come back and reattach you so you can live. It'll exist for a while, but you're going to have to reconnect it back to the tree if you're going to actually give it back stimulation in life. That's what he had to do to us. Bring in something that would attach us again. Yeah. That's why we're here. Let's look at Shamshun right quick. Pick me up at the 15th chapter, Shafatim. They call it Judges. How long I want to be before y'all long? I know white folks will be happy. And over 60% of niggas. People don't want to think. Shafatim. Shafatim means what? Judges. Hold on. No, 16, 9. See that what I want? 16, 9. I said 15. Let's see that what I want. All right. Listen, this is the 16th chapter book of Shafatim. They call Judges. Shafatim, judges, see, this is how stuff don't work. What a judge is, they call it a referee, but a judge is supposed to be a vindicator.
Right.
That's on purpose to be one. You're the condemner or vindicator.
Right.
That's the book. And we learned about the office of Solomon, who they call Solomon. He told us that Yahuwah when he come in, and a situation happened with Yasharal, he told him to vindicate the Sadiq, but condemn the Rasha. So the purpose why we look at when we look at these as Shafatim, because these people were vindicators of us. So when we went in, we talked about what was coming she later. They call it Wednesday night, but every day starts night, then day. So that was what they would call Thursday, the night of Thursday. But what you'll find that when these people came in, because these people came in to condemn the Rasha. We talked about how with the double-edged sword. Y'all remember that? Yeah. And when Ehud had gone in and he stuck the blade inside of the man because he ruled over us. So the book is called Shafatim, Judges. The vindication came in that we should be delivered and be freed. But since he had us, he should die. Shamshun, they call Samson, was a judge. Now we'll see if he said we should be condemned. This is 16:9, book of Shafatim. They call judge. Listen.
Now there were unashamed lying in wait.
An ambush was setting with her in the chamber.
Abiding with her in the chamber, and she said unto him,
What did she tell him?
The Philistines be upon thee, Shamshun.
See that? The Philistines are upon you, Shamshun.
And he brake the width, as a thread of tow is broken when it toucheth the fire.
So he broke the cords as a thread of a tow string was broken when it touches the fire. How anybody ever took a thread and took a match or a string on their shirt, and how fast it dissolving? You know? He said that's how quick it was that he broke it. He was giving you something. See, watch this, man. Man, he broke it so fast it was fast. How fast is that? How fast it was so fast it was fast. Exactly. You can't even imagine it. So I gave you something that you would know. Have you ever had a string or something touch fire? You say, oh shoot, it got that quick. That's how fast it is. So he gave you something you can reference, something you could think about, something you can consider. That's what they don't want you to get. See, you got to go in your spiritual mind. That's when you're going to the land of stupid.
Yeah.
So that's how he did it. This is what they said. So
his strength was not known.
That's right. So the whole purpose of them doing it was to find out how strong he was. Why y'all think white people get y'all in all these competition, put you on stuff? These folks did combine other stuff. You know the first thing they want to do? Come on, to the bar, you get rid of right. How about you gonna just go right there? Come on. You're gonna run to right there to where jam energy. You ready? Go. All right, that's it right there. Let's make sure. Go ahead. So anything break out, I already know how fast that nigga run. We got it on record.
Good stuff.
Them need to come and give you 225 pounds with you to lift it. All right, you ready? Go. All right. Got it. That's good. That's all I need to know. Anything break out, he ain't getting over 6. So when I started to make my fight against him to take him down, I know exactly how fast he is, and I know how strong he is with 225, so I can start debate. People don't know the reason why they give you the weight and they give you so many reps, because by that, they can pretty much distinguish what you can lift.
Good.
You think it's just 225. We know if a person can do so many of these reps, they've done enough of it to know, I know what you can lift. I have a round guesstimate. You have no idea why they do this, because they like to keep up with you. Also, you mind coming for a second, how much you weigh, you think? No, get on the scale, because I need to make sure I didn't weigh all that. See, a lot of times you give people drugs and poison, you know what you're going to need to know first? Their body weight. Because that's going to depend on how much they can take. A person that's larger is going to take more to induce them. A person smaller can use less. How you think these people know how to kill you? When you go and you get something, why you think they put the measurement? They said, drink the bottle and just drink some. How many of y'all seen that bottle? Drink some. It's going to give you a cup. It's going to give you an age. It's going to give you a weight. Because we've already done the number. Niggas don't know no better. They just think because they make you so tickled. Because I know what I'm doing to you. Why would we think about it though? Why would we think? That's the whole purpose. The whole purpose of being American is to be unconscious. Why don't think about that? Think good things. Think happy thoughts. Think happy thoughts. Think good things. He gonna get trapped up every time. That's the system. Why y'all think they give you movies and give you all this stuff and keep you going to places and events and so many things? Why people want the summertime? Why? Because it's fun time. It's all time. Let's go vacation time. Let's go. Sometimes invented so you can come pull your crops in. That's what summer was for. It was never invented to get people out of school. The reason why they gave you summer was because people were dropping out of school. Parents were putting their kids out of school. They were like, this is the winter. I have to, listen, I come along, when I was growing up, we get out, you didn't come back to September. Some of them pushed to October because by then you should be through with all your winter harvest. You should got your summer, got yourself for the last of your winter harvest. After that, everything goes dormant. So there's no reason for it. They can go to school. That's why they start setting weeks and they start going. You come in when they tell you when, in the fall. School starts when? In the summer? Why? Because by then you should have already been through with your crop so the kids can go to school all the way back around to when? Till the summertime comes to get hot, because then it's time to start putting things in the ground. We're starting to plant, and then you get them out when it's time to harvest and bring in. So it was never you to go on vacation and have fun. It was because parents were pulling their kids out of school. Just like people are pulling kids out of school for the virus. So you make accommodation, let them go online, because you need them in the school, because that's where your programming starts. I can't program you ain't there.
Right.
Somebody want me to program their computer and they ain't brought it to me. I'm working on it right now. Why? I need your kids there to program it. When I get through teaching them math, you ain't gonna believe it. Things ain't gonna add up what's happening to them. You done went to school, master mathematics, and then you sit here and say, man, this junk ain't adding up out here. I don't know why it ain't. It's the same system. Huh? Go in here, Joe got degrees in literature and writing and all this stuff in English, and Joe get out here and realize, man, I can't read this thing for nothing. Trying to figure out what's going on, and then you can't even read. When you talking about the writing, you can't read what's going on around you. So you gotta be able to take this stuff and use it how you be able to discern. Y'all got it? All right. So his strength was not.
No.
So everything they were doing to him was to test to see where he was. Let's go. Let's sit down. Come on. All right, listen.
And Delilah said unto Shamshun, behold, thou hast mocked me and told me Kazab. Now tell me, I applaud thee, wherewith thou mightest be bound.
Let me read this. Then Delilah said to Shamshun, behold, you deceived me and told me Kazab lies. Now, please tell me with what you may be bound. So that's how they get. First of all, you gotta make a person feel like they done wrong because they had to give you all the information they didn't want to know. White people get you paperwork. You know what they tell you on your paperwork you fill out? So that you affirm and you swear that if under perjury. Where you think they got it from? From Delilah. That's why I make sure you don't tell me lies, Shamshun. You don't notice your paperwork all here under perjury? You thinking, hold on, let me read that thing again. Under perjury?
Yeah.
Prosecution. Told him you told me lies. Now she want to get him so he can't. I want to get you under perjury. These people don't see how these people set you up. This is their system. This was Shamshun's system? Their system. Guess what Yahuwah never charged him with? Lying. He never charged him with lying. These people are your enemies. Yahuwah never charged them with lying. His order was he was not supposed to cut his hair or drink anything that put his teeth on edge. The commandment told you thou shalt not do what? Lie, bear false witness against your neighbor, your companion. Was the Philistine his companion? The woman just said it, man, told a lie. He should have told her. Next verse, he should tell her, hold on for a minute. Tell you, don't you ever call me a liar again. I'll knock your mother teeth out your mouth. It should tell us the next verse. Let's see. Here it is, you mother, come on.
And he said unto her, if they bind me fast with new ropes that never were occupied, then shall I be weak and be as another Ish.
Let's see what happened.
Delilah therefore took new ropes and bound him therewith and said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee, Shamshun. And there were liars in wait abiding in the chamber, and he brake them from off his arms like a thread.
So what we gonna say he done did again? Done lied again. We should hear Yahuwah tell me if it's burning hell. Should be coming. All right. Then
Delilah said unto Shamshun, hitherto thou hast mocked me and told me Kazar.
hold on for a minute. You have deceived me and told me lies? It's tight. Go ahead.
Tell me wherewith thou mightest be bound. And he said unto her, if thou weavest the 7 locks of my head with the web.
Come on.
And she fastened it with the pin and said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee, Shamshun, and went away with the pin of the beam and with the web.
Come on.
And she said unto him, thee, when thine love is not with me, thou hast mocked me these 3 times, and hast not told me wherein thy great strength lieth.
That's what they tell you about being American. You either with America or against them. George Bush said it best. You either with us or you with the terrorists. You saw, man, how you gonna put it in line? We were just hoping I said, well, I don't stand with, so you're a terrorist. I'm not no terrorist. Then you with us. See how they frame you into where you at stuck now? Now it ain't no love because you lied. Let me see. But you got all the love because you got folk been sitting here trying to ambush me.
Right.
Why she ain't never said, I ain't right either. Both of us ain't right. The whole time getting the truth out of him was so they can ambush him.
Yeah.
See, this is how they get you. They'll take your book and they'll play you enough that you'll sell your own self. That's why Yahushua was known for a man not having a whole lot of speech around him. Because he knew they would tie him up on his words. See, first thing we do is everything we know, we spill out the territory. They're going to come back to tie you up on your words. That's been their goal since they had you. Listen. Verse 16.
And it came to pass, when she pressed him daily with her dabarim and urged him, so that his nephesh was vexed unto
He was
moot,
annoyed to death. What happened?
that he told her all his law, and said unto her, thou hast not come a razor upon mine head, for I have been a Nazarene unto Elohim from my aim's womb.
Stop for a second. Let's see what Nazarene is, so they'll know. People just associate it one way. You need to understand the Nazarene, where it derives from. So you see the Natsar, separate, which would be Kodash. That's why he did it. They'll put holy, always their word for him, as a prince of Nazareth. But figuratively speaking, an unpruned vine. Y'all see it? Uncut, unshaven. That's what he was set aside for. Y'all got it? He was set aside for a purpose. He was Kodash. See, America knows that we've been set aside for a purpose. That's why they came along, they defamed us and deframed us. Y'all got us? And frame us. Y'all got it just like a picture. So these are the things we're trying to look at. He was unpruned, an unpruned vine. From what root? Let's see what it's from, 51:44. A whole loaf, a set apart, devoted as Kudash, they put holy, to abstain. So that from food and drink and other elements. Y'all see that? So if you look at it, that's our stand. We're Netzars. We'll abstain for certain. That's why people want to know, why y'all don't eat pork? Because we're Netzar. We'll abstain for certain foods and certain drink. They'll come in, he told us that wine was a strong drink, whosoever deceived thereby. So because we're Netzar, guess what we do? We just abstain from it. We're separatists. That's what we do. Y'all got it? Abstain from impurities. Y'all got it? So these are the things that we try to look at, we try to consider. But you hear words until you actually look them up. Set apart unto a sacred purpose. And that's what he was. He was devoted. Y'all got it? Okay, let's go back over. So notice when he let her know about the razor coming to his head, he didn't just tell her about a razor, he let her know about how important it was that it had never happened. Because of, he let her know the rationale. He said, well, I just don't like to cut my hair. No, it's because of my vow, because I've been devoted, because I'm keeping a certain ritual from certain foods, certain drink, certain elements, certain behaviors I stay away from. Y'all got it? And this right here will come in and it'll wind up breaking my vow to Elohim. You see what that purpose was? He was dedicated to Elohim from my aim's womb, from the time born. For if I am shaved, then my strength shall go from me, and I shall become weak as to be like any other.
Yeesh.
That's right, Adam. Adam is what we'll look at for man. Why Adam? Adam has certain different variables as far as the translation of his name or the definition of his name. The word Adam will be a kind. That's a kind. You got what I'm saying? That's a certain kind. Then everything will stem from him. So you will be son of man, that they'll call it, which will be the ben of Adam, because you are a kind like Adam. Y'all got it? Also with Adam, Adam was a hypocrite because he said, but he didn't do. Okay, the definition for Adam would be a hypocrite too. Y'all got it? We'll look for a lower state because then Adam was put out and he was put down to the ground. He was going to sweat. So it would let you know when you use Adam, you look at someone of a lower state. You got it? So when you start looking at these things, you start trying to figure and try to configure on which trait you're going to use them at. He said, if I do, I'll be of a man of a lower state. Y'all got it? Can we see what the word Adam means, Boston? Well, I just want to tell you, we want you to know. See, this is what they never taught us. There's no way we could have learned in the Christian church. We learned how to recite. We learned how to recite. We learned how to sing. We don't understand the meaning of what they were saying if you said some son of man. What man? There's some of them, they son of benches. I said benches. Bench, please. I just came up with, I might put in a song. Ruddy. What is ruddy? That's right, he was reddish, his face. That's why it was important when Yahushua came, they had to smack him in his face and pluck off his beard because it made it red, meaning he was like who? Especially when they called him son of man, because you said that he was a kind of Adam. So if it's a kind of Adam, he had to have the same similar traits. Ruddy, that's what Daud, his Abba, was known for. He was a reddish-skinned man. A human being. That's what he was saying. If I cut my hair, I will be like a human being, an individual or a species, mankind, another, a hypocrite, a common sort. He said, that's what I'll be. I'll be like a common man. Low, man. Of low degree means person. See, all these things we look at, we consider when you deal with Adam. Okay? Let's go back and look at what we were saying. 17, we finished. 18, please. Verse 18. Listen.
And when Delilah saw that he had told her all his log, she sent and called for the Adonai of the Philistines, saying, come up this once, for he hath shewed me all his log. Then the Adonai of the Philistines came up unto her and brought money in their hands.
See that? These people get paid to take you down. Well, you know, all he was a specimen. These people pay you for specimens now. That's all he was a specimen. Listen.
And she made him sleep upon her knees, and she called for a ish, and she caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head, and she began to afflict him, and his strength went from him.
Let's see what happened.
And she said, the Philistines be upon thee, Shemshun. And he awoke out of his sleep and said, I will go out as at other times before and shake myself. And he wist not that Yahuwah was departed from him.
I asked y'all earlier, what did he know? When you make this statement, I shall go out as at other times, because I've done it before. You guys couldn't answer it. See, he had a practice. He had a behavior. He knew how to strategize to get away from him. In order for me to properly fight him, he'd go out from him first to separate, to gather himself. You know what you do? You try to fight right there from within and make a mess. He said, I do like I did before. I always do this. I separate myself from him. Then I come back in to fight. I got to gather myself. I got to find out where people at. Said, I just woke up. I don't know who is who, what just happened. So I'm going to do what I've been doing, what I'm going to come doing to get away from them. Because I'm already, from how I operate as a Nassar, I'm a person that's separated. So I got to get away from these elements so I can fight them. You trying to fight with these elements, how you going to do it? Man, listen, first thing happens, somebody in the hospital room, or operator, they jump up, start trying to get up. What they going to do? Everybody around the table going to grab. Why you think they got so many people in to hold you down? You're not gonna be able to fight from right here. They're already ready to restrain you. So what you're trying to do, the elements already work against you. A lot of things we gotta start looking at is time and favor. Y'all got it? Certain things come with time and certain things gotta favor you. Y'all got it? We've been fighting it been the wrong time and things hadn't favored us. That's why we constantly being defeated. We gotta start letting things favor us. Y'all got it? Things have to favor us. Just like we came out of Mizraim, that day everybody humbly submitted, put down their weapons, and realized, you know what? We have done you guys wrong. Y'all just go ahead and leave. We're so convicted right now in our heart. We should have never had y'all here. And we sorry. Y'all go ahead and leave. That's how you left there? How did you leave? Their babies died. Their crops were destroyed. Mm-hmm. Their home was being hit with hail that would turn to fire when it hit the ground. Locusts and flies and gnats were all over them. The water turned to blood. They couldn't drink it and it stunk. Frogs were in their houses. Then they let you go. You know what happened? It was time and things favored you. These diseases that they're getting, their water being plagued with oil, just like California, everywhere in Texas, things are favoring us. Their kids are dying from the COVID. They're going to push and tell you it's your kids. White people concerned about their kids. They ain't getting no vaccination because we dying. They got a vaccination because they dying. It ain't working, okay? Things are favoring us to say, it's time to separate. It's time to separate. Mm-hmm. So I hate that as we've done before time, it's time to separate. Stand here with the elements don't work for you. Every governing power is white. It's a white authority. No white authority gonna help me leave here. What white authority gonna help your black skin and monkey looking self go somewhere? You got monkey nose, monkey lip, gorilla hair. These folks not gonna help me go nowhere. They're gonna help people that look like executives, corporate sponsors, senators and governors. They're gonna help their own. Ain't nobody gonna help us. That's why we look to Yahuwah. Nobody else favors us. So he's setting time to be favorable to say, listen, the people that came out before that look like you, these are the same similar things that happened when they got ready to depart. And America got the riches to pay us back for what they owe us. I wasn't there to hear talking about they don't owe me nothing. Cracker, please. Break me off cash. Gold. That's how my forefathers and them left. They left with gold in abundance. Yeah. That was part of Yahuwah telling them we were coming out. How you not gonna pay me and I had a loss? Come on, have it there, me. Come on, me have a wreck. Come on, come on. Me gonna have a wreck. You driving. Come on, come on. You drive. Come on. Come on, you drive. Come on, come on, come on, sit back there. Drive back up, drive back up, drive back up. How you drive went around me, you boy? We can't have no wreck. Dang, you gotta hit me. I gotta hit you. Gonna try it again? Come on. You know? Dan said, come on, Dan, we can do this. Come on. You know what messed Dan up? They messed up our Dan. Come on, man, you drive. You don't come that way, I'm coming that way. Come on. All right, come on, Dan. We're going, boom. Dan, you tried to do that on purpose. Man, what kind of driving that is? What kind of car you got that push? Don't worry about it. Now, one of us been injured. One of us wrong, one right. Who gonna judge? Who right, who wrong? Danny right, I'm wrong. Depending on the law. All right, we're gonna go with Danny right, I'm wrong. I caused you to have a wreck that injured your car tore up. You need this car to go to work, take care of your family, other stuff you're doing. You can't do that. Plus, you're going to miss some days of work. That's going to cost you too. You have a hospital bill, and you got to take some medication. He has to be compensated for this. He needs consolation. That's right. Why? Because he had a loss, and it's a disappointment because you weren't planning on tearing up your car. You weren't planning on being off of work. You weren't planning on losing no money. You wasn't planning on taking no medication. So this man has to be compensated. That's good. So now the law comes in to say, I owe him. Are you serious? Are you serious? Pain and suffering. That's crazy. He was only off for 2 weeks, but he was off 2 weeks with suffering. He had to take medication that altered and caused him other problems. He couldn't drive while he had the medication. He was without a car. He had to have an appointment paid for an Uber when he would usually drive himself or wait on somebody to pick him up and take him. This was time he lost. He had problems sleeping, so they gave him something for his sleep, which was another medication that altered other things in his body he got to be paid and compensated for. Now, Danny should receive, based off the car, we maybe say the car $15,000 because he had some work done to it, so we got to include that into the pay too. The car might not be worth but $8, but because he did extensive work and had receipts, he got to compensate him for that other work he put in it too. We're going to pay him for his time off. We're going to pay him for his suffering. We're going to pay him for the medication and pay back all the bills due to this accident. Now, who the blank going to pay me for this 400-something year accident I've been out for? How you come up with 40 acres and a mule? I got over 400 years of hours of time I've been down. I've been without transportation. The transportation I would have had before you came. You know what I'm saying? My family, I had a lot. Matter of fact, in this accident I was in, I had people die. Y'all know that's worth more money. How we gonna sit here and leave until I don't worry about it? You got your flipping mind. We need that and then some. And that's because of the laws, because of the stress, because of the medication we had. The crack cocaine, they gave us the medication. We took it because we knew that we were injured. We needed something to cope with this whole thing. The alcoholism. And because of the crack, because of the accident. That's how I see it. That ain't my opinion, that's fact. So here he was, but he did not know that
Yahuwah
had
departed from him.
You know why Yahuwah departed from him? Because he left Yahuwah. See, the only way the white man could beat you, you had to leave your Elohim. Right. That's the only way his Elohim could beat you. You had to leave yours. White people don't fight you without a God. Why you think they come out with that flag and they hold it up? Why you think they come out with all the stuff they come out? Because they fight with a God. Everyone in the country fight with a God. Everyone use some type of symbolism. Russia gonna use a bear. China gonna use a dragon. America gonna use an eagle. All these people gonna take the animal, they're gonna make them symbolic. We use the olive. Because the olive is known for its strength, for its power, for its beauty, for its majesty, and what the olive can do. You can plow with him so he can feed you. He can also defend, he can protect. You can take his skin, you can even eat him. When Yahushua told us that we can eat his flesh, we knew that because we could eat the olive. When he told us abide in him and him in us, and we eat him, then part of that exists in us, doesn't it? So now we take the skin and we make a tent. Then we abide in him. Olive can also lead. So when Yahuwah told us that he was the olive, we knew. We knew what he could do. I don't know what these people can do. An eagle, they run a self-proclaimed hunter. They let their kids kill each other. That's why white people take it. Eagles don't care. They'll have a chick, they'll let them sit right there and kill each other. Strong ones survive. Now we'll teach y'all how to work together. Y'all gonna have to build. A lot of stuff don't work for us. I know folks, you'll go take it and you'll run with it. Go look at the nature of an eagle, what they'll do. They'll fly to the lead now to kill each other. When they fly back in, they see the one dead, they'll turn their back on them. See, we won't do that. You know what Yahuwah told us about us? He said, Zion said that they had been forsaken. He said, can a mother forsake her suckling being, her son, that she wouldn't have compassion on him? He said, she may forget. I'll never look at him as an eagle. Not in the way these white people do. Y'all got it, because they won't be defending, protecting, or keeping there. They'll let them kill each other. See, that's what, you know what they do? We do operate like eagles. We'll let our kids kill each other. We have to teach our kids unity. That's not something that's innate. We got to teach it to them. Certain things we got are innately in us, but certain things it has to be taught. And that's why we take a loss, and we're at a loss at because we hadn't been teaching our children so we can keep a certain protocol, okay? So now he didn't know that Yahuwah had departed from him, and that's what we didn't know. To go out to fight these people, first of all, you need Yahuwah on your side. See, when Malcolm was on the scene, Malcolm tried to get the Negro to try to get Muhammad and them on his side. Try to get Allah on his side. We use Allah, but not for a title of Yahuwah. We use Allah because Allah means rise, or height. We know Yahuwah is Allah. He rise, that he did rise. Y'all got it? But we don't use it for a title or symbolism of his name. Okay? So everybody realized, and even Malcolm tried to tell you, that you need to get Allah on our side so then we could be able to fight against the white people. Everybody knew they need to have some type of a higher power to be on them, to stimulate them to be in defense with them. Anytime man they fought, man always pulled ahead of God. So this ain't that the Indians had totem poles. They had a God of the wind, God of the wolf, and everything else. The folks just grabbed stuff. But for we ain't just grabbing something. We grabbing something that's symbolic, something he told us. Everything he gave us were things we use, tools and other things that help facilitate the idea of the salvation. You can't just sell me an idea. Let me hear how the idea works. Then I'll see whether or not I want to take it. And for us, we took something, we didn't even know how it worked. How Jesus worked? Well, when you die. That's when he worked with it. Well, why not just go ahead and die then? I need something that worked for me now. Yeah. Before I die. I need to see something before I die. I need to have a relationship. I don't need one just when I die. I need something now that's going to actually give me the mindset to accept what you tell me going to happen later. I need something I can compare it to. All right. Do the next verse. Then, listen.
The Philistines took him and put out his own and brought him down to Gaza and bound him with fetters of brass, and he did grind in a prison bed.
So they ain't nothing they do to us now. When they lock us up, they put handcuffs on us and put us in the dungeon. We had to work, and they put you somewhere where you can't see. Prison don't know. In some jail they'll stain and put little small windows like this here so you can't see. Because that kind of gets you on contemplate. I need you to lose track of time. They know, I'm telling you, they got them. They don't stop that stuff. They don't want you to know. You in there, you just going. So you can't tell from day to night. So then you can't discern. See, you don't never need a nigga thinking. The sun coming up. The sun up. It's raining outside. Because the thing he'll start putting together in their mind calculates. So I need him not to know what time it is. Same thing he do when it come down to the book. He gave you the Bible so you don't know time and seasons. Nigga looking for fall, nigga looking for spring and autumn. None of this stuff exists. It's only 2 seasons, summer and winter. It's the earlier of the hot before it get hotter. That's summer. Winter is just the early cold before it gets cold. Winter. White folk done broke it up and gave you section. Autumn, fall, spring. Nigga, please. We had spring, I'd have been out of him. Some nigga need to be gone. They say spring a nigga out of jail, he gone, ain't it? We need the spring. So he gave it, that's right, nigga. All right, that's good, that's good, that's beautiful. Now, it was on a 1 seat for the Maracu and Chanel got it. So the rest of y'all just got to hold on to us another open. Who was number 2? Yeah, it's gonna be a while. It'll be a while for we get some more seats. But that's the thing that we look at and we try to consider. They don't want you to know time. What's the purpose of taking him and prisoner and shackling him and then take his own out? Let's see what the own is. Can we see what the own is, Boston? Please. This is the Aubrey chart, okay? People say, see, take a nigga eyes out so a nigga can't see. You're right to a degree, but you got to understand. This is the Aubrey language, the early language they call the ancient. This is called the oon. The oon is the actual name of what they'll call the eye, okay? They'll tell you the eye so you can see, but we want to see how does the oon work, okay? This is the second, which is the middle script I'm writing of the oon, and here's another picture of the oon, all right? The oon is basically saying, for the English definition, it's the eye. What do I use to do? To see, to watch, to know, and to shade. All you do is close your eyes. If you don't want to see something, I'll get right like you finna poke your eyes. Look at that. Whoa, he closed his eye. Why? He shaded it. He didn't want to see it. White people got you where you shading. You don't want to see, you don't want to know. You don't have to open your eyes mentally. He done covered your mind. Because what you see, you process in your mind. Y'all got it? I could see her, she fussing with her son, and I don't have to hear it. I said, that lady fussing at her son. She finna get her to whip him. She upset with him. I don't hear anything she's saying but visual. My eyes are putting this together in my mind and processing it. So putting his eyes out made him where he wasn't able to see so he can process, he can have knowledge of what's happening to him. That's why they put people in places where they can't see, where you can't don't know what's going on and locking doors so you can't get out, so you can't process certain things. I want you to stay and I want your mind to stay captive. So that was the importance of when they took him. This was a process that was done before we met white people. They took this man and put his eyes out so he couldn't see. So he couldn't know what's going to happen to him. Okay, let's see, let's go back over. Okay, 21, 22. Listen.
Howbeit, the hair on his head began to grow again after he was shaven.
That's what they missed. Come on.
Then the Adanim of the Philistine gathered them together for to offer a great sacrifice to Dagon their Elohim, and to rejoice, for they said, Our Elohim hath delivered Shamshun, our enemy, into our hand. And when the armed saw him, they tahala their Elohim,
They praised their mighty one.
for they said, Our Elohim hath delivered into our hands our enemy, and the destroyer of our country, which slew many of us.
Who multiplied our slain. Let's see.
And it came to pass, when their lives were merry, that they said, Kara for Shamshun, that he may make us sport. And they Kara for Shamshun out of the prison house. And he made them sport. And they set him between the pillars.
Hold what you got. These people don't understand it right here. When you look at this. So those of you that play sports, you played in arenas or you played indoors or outdoors, you were in the dungeon.
Yeah.
That's what they brought you out of. They called it the locker room.
Locker room, that's right.
They put you out and they let you know it was time to play and they brought you out.
That's right.
So the people could make sport of you.
That's right. That's right.
Where you think this whole thing come from? The Greeks and everybody learned from the Philistines.
That's right.
The arena whole saga, the whole thing they put when they putting these coliseum, these stadiums up, this whole thing denote to a time period.
That's right.
That they brought him out to entertain them. Listen, from the dungeon. They know that, look, guess what? They don't bring the athletes out from upstairs nowhere. They bring them out from the bottom.
That's right.
From the dungeon.
That's right.
From baseball, everywhere else. They gonna bring you out from the dungeon. Salkak, to joyfully laugh in pleasure or in disparagement of another. See that? That's how they laugh at you. These folks sit around and laugh at you, and this is in your demise.
Yeah.
They'll sit around, they get drunk, get happy. White folks always got along. You don't seen pictures where they had little kids sitting inside a fence and white folks around and they come and give them food like an animal and laugh. And your disparagement and your hurt. They put made a fool out of us, and we still ain't got no consciousness. They'll think he's trying to revolutionize. Our people should have been revolutionized.
That's right.
Just break away, just say I ain't playing the game no more with you.
That's right.
I'm done. These people, what are the white people gonna show at this point that we ain't already seen? What are white America gonna show that we ain't seen? What are we gonna be the recipients of? More gun violence, more drugs, more hurt, more disappointment, more eviction, more destruction, more of our kids incarcerated. That's all we're going to get from them. Sicker, broker, dumber. That's all we're going to get from them. More debt. We getting ready to put our kids in college. They getting ready to go to college and get more debt in a society that's closing down.
Yeah.
That they're already trying to put at the penalty of prison if you don't pay these student loans. Now, you think about it, that case, you might well have been a bank robber. You still, what you going to be? I'm in here. You're a bank robber. I'm in here because I ain't paying my student loan. That should really make you sleep at night. You're a political prisoner. Oh, you make common sense. Okay, let's say Shaka. Salka. Okay. That's how they wrote this. The shun. They put it. What you say now? Yasakot. Yasakot. From Chicago. Chicago. Because he made him laugh. Yasakot means that he laugh. He makes me laugh. That's what Sarah, Abraham's wife, that's what she named him. They said Isaac, his name was Yasakot, which means he laughed. Okay? That's what she looked, he laughed. So now you look at these folks, Shakak is what we said. But they did it in your disparagement. Who we saw do that? Ishmael, that's what he did. When he saw the son inside of the crib, or he saw him laying, I don't want to use crib, but just figurative speaking. We saw him laughing, that's what he did, Shakak. He was laughing at him. And the disparagement, see, while you laying there, baby crying, why would you be laughing? You're laughing for baby laughing, the baby happy. But he was laughing, he was being joyful while the baby was sitting here afflicted. And that's what they were going to do to Shamshun. The man blind, the man in prison. You done brought up, trumped up charges on the man. The man killed the people in self-defense. And then you said in prison, the man and took the man down and then made the man break his vow so that way he'll be away from his Elohim. so you knew how to defeat him. How you think they beating us? Because we are away from our Elohim. It'd be like you seen them wrestling shows. Y'all remember wrestling, they had tag teams. Then they'll get the bad guys, always pull the guy off somewhere, won't let him get back over there. And you be study hollering, let him get in tag, let him get in tag. And once he finally go, you be like hollering, because you like, daggone, now they gonna win. Because now he done tagged this part, he finally got back to his corner.
That's right.
So the other team, whole opponent agenda is what? Keep him from tag. He'll get up, finna tag, we about to tag. They snap him. Oh man, that's how they keep us.
That's right.
Put it right in your face, Sean, because they know if you touch and tag, he said 2 or 3 got in the midst touching and agreeing, I'll be well. That's why I don't let you touch. He keep you separated. He keep you separated for a reason. All right, appreciate it. Shakak. Okay. And they made him stand between the pillars. All right, come on. Then, 26.
And Shamshun said unto the lad that held him by the hand, suffer me that I may feel the pillars whereupon the bed standeth, that I may lean upon them.
27.
Now the bed was full of Anashim and Nashim, and all the Adanim of the Philistine were there.
All the lords were there.
And there were upon the roof about 3,000 Anashim and Nashim that beheld while Shamshun made sport.
Well, looking on him while he was making sport.
And Shamshun called unto Yahuwah and said, O Yahuwah Elohim, Zakar me, I palaw thee, and strengthen me, I palaw thee, only this once, O Elohim, that I may be at once avenged of the Philistine for my tu'um. And Shamshun took hold of the 2 metal pillars upon which the beth stood, and on which it was borne up, of the one with his right hand, and of the other with his left hand.
So he braced himself against them. You know how a brace is fastened on something, don't you? He locked onto that thing. Listen.
And Shamshun said, let me moot with the Philistine. And he bowed himself with all his might. And the beth fell upon the Adanim, and upon all the arm that were therein. So the moot which he slew at his moot were more than they which he slew in his Kai.
Let's see what he told us about it.
Then his Akim and all the beth of his Abba came down and took him and brought him up and buried him between Zoar and Estaol in the burying Malcolm of Manoah his Abba, and he shafted Yasharal 20 years.
You see what he did? He vindicated them. How did their vindication come in? Through their death. Through the death of their enemies. Why does it make sense that our vindication is going to come in with the living of these people?
Come on. Come on.
It don't work for us.
That's right.
We have to separate. If whatever was written aforetime, written for our learning, we through patient comfort of the scripture might have hope. So what's your hope? We had a loss. We had disappointment. So how does it entail? How does it work? Didn't say the book wrong.
That's right. That's right.
See, what your mind is already phantom. That don't make sense. Why we got to think like that? Why we got to talk like that? This is your book.
Yeah.
Your book said it.
Yeah.
If he's a judge, he paid judgment. When he told the little boy, he said, after you let me feel the pillars, then leave me alone. You need to get out of here.
That's right. That's right.
Because I was set to take these people down. The shopper was set in to be a defense for us. You know what we look at? I'm getting ready to go to court. You know what I'm saying? Lee Williams, you're gonna need a
lawyer.
Why you don't get a judge? Why you didn't give us a lawyer? Because a lawyer can't determine the outcome of a case. A judge can. See why you been losing? Every time something comes, what you need? You got a ticket, what you need? Got a court case. Why you don't get a judge? See, you already set up for losing. Then you want to know why you ain't win. A lawyer can't determine the outcome of no case. A judge does. That's how you that's how I'm going to vindicate you. What do you like coming out here being a lawyer? Y'all want me to go in there and talk to them white people for y'all? No, you're going to mess it up. We need somebody who can pay a judgment for us. We need liberties. Y'all got me. Y'all see when these people want something, these women want to abort them babies, they ain't got an attorney. No, they're trying to get in there and get them a lawyer. They're trying to get a judge. That's why they took it to a judge. We need a judge to come here and change this because we want to do it. It's something they want to do. White people get a judge. They don't like that judge, they go get them another one. We'll go to an appellate. We'll go to federal. They ever don't overturn. We'll go all the way to the Supreme Court. We're going to get us a judge. Then don't y'all know we need us one? I ain't gonna hold y'all no longer. I just wanted to get conscious and just think about it. Stop thinking, first of all, and I know how you think, because I think and I thought the same way. We're the bad people if we say other people should die. We are the people that always had to pray for other people that's doing us wrong. Why these same people don't pray for you? Why we yet to find the Klan, the skinheads, or any other people, any organization, or the Senate, or the president saying they're praying for us? They're not. We've been the people been praying to, just like slavery. We've always taken care of these people. We've never taken care of ourselves. We've been so busy trying to rear their children and take care and keep their homes and build their homes. We never had an opportunity to really fairly fix our own homes. Our homes were broken down, dilapidated. We were fixing the master house, piece of wood, porch, steps were messing up, window hanging might not be right, glass cracked, change the glass for it, chopping firewood, make sure you got heat, cutting up meat, make sure you got it for the winter, making sure sewing, woman sewing, making sure they got blankets and stuff for the house, sewing curtains and draperies, towel, paper, sewing table covering, get down to the shack, what you got? Ain't a mattress, kids on the floor. On a sheet. Yep. No curtain. He ain't gonna let you put no curtain. Cause he walk, he need to be able to look in there. That's right. And you ain't putting no lock on that door either, nigga. That's right. Cause I need to be able to walk up and bust up in the mother. Yep. I might want to sing the upper room. Whatever wood you had, or whatever was left over, little sticks you can get. Yep. You ain't have no meat stored up for your house. You had the leftover that he gave you. So you've been so busy preparing and putting this home together, your home was broken. You saw his kid wasn't doing the kid. Hey, come back, what you doing? That's your boy, you crazy. That's your paw. You do what he tell you to do. Your kid running loose. Yep. You'll whip his kid, tell his kid. You get his kid, tell him how fortunate they are. Your parents work hard. Your parents are crackheads. Yep. Your parents druggies. Your parents drunks. Your parents kidnappers and rapers and murder. Tell them kids the truth. They're going out crying, what's wrong? I told your kid the truth. I told him the truth. Told your kid, I ain't even supposed to be here, and my kids ain't either. We come from royalty. We emperors. I ain't got no business cleaning nothing and washing nothing for you. It need to be for mine. Right. We had servants that did that for us. But you can't tell them that. That caused a problem. Why not? Why is it that we always got to worry about how other people feel? How about how we feel? That's how we feel about it. Well, we don't want to offend nobody. Why not? We're constantly being offended. We just got to change the way we think. All right? That's two. Wonderful Husha. We said the Most High. We said it. We said the Most High. Wonderful, wonderful.